All right. All right. We are here. We are here. Let's see. I think we are here. My audio should be good. Did my test right before I went online. How are you guys doing? We're going to let people trickle in. Like I said, every live stream is going to be here. It's going to be here. Now, I think what we have here, let me see. I think what we have here, let me make sure of something here. Yep. How you guys doing? We are going live. I think the NACAC is going on. For the people that want to watch that, the NACAC, the North American, what is that? Central American and the Caribbean Track and Field Championships. That's going on. That's going on from Friday until what? Sunday. So yeah, you got Shanae Miller-Weebo, Brooke Anderson, Sharika Jackson. They're there. So this is going to be very interesting. So if you guys want to be watching that, that was yesterday, today, and tomorrow from how this live stream is going. NACAC, North American, Central American, and the Caribbean. All right, those championships are going on. But today's topic, we're going to get into that shortly. But remember, I'm your host, Nick, and you're listening to Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes, performances, and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. Always be blessed, stay rich, and remember, we're working our butts off to be the number one out here in the sports and self-development area. And it's a lot of topics I want to talk about today, but we're going to use, like I said, the athletics as a backdrop for what our main topic is going to be. Kai Love, shout out to you. I see you're in the house. Everybody that's here either live or in the recording, smash that like button. Let's share it. This lets me know you like these types of topics, but I should save that until later. But let's go through here for the 200 real quick. It's not going to go in a direction that some people may be thinking. It's not going to go in that direction where some people may think. So here's the... So weird how this happens right here. How they have this pop up on the screen when I press it. But here's the photo finish of the women's 200. We had one troll, one idiot that was talking about a low quality meat. But really, that's not what this is. That's not what this is. We have a high quality meat. Now, Europe, when you look at the World Championship stage, like I said, it was the Americas. It was North America specifically. USA, Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica, all of that. All of them, Mexico, Canada, they were on the top of the list. Now, I'm not saying all those nations were on the top, but the North American continent was on the top of the list overall. So if you're looking at the average of distance running, sprinting, field events, the race walking, the road aspect of it, including the marathon, because that's the road portion. When you put all that together, the strongest continent is North America. Then after that, it goes to Africa. Then after that, it will be Europe, then Asia. So Europe isn't going to have the fastest athletes in all the events. So I don't look at these championships and look at it like, hey, look, we need the fastest times or anything like that. Like I said, the way I would try to run track and field is you can have athletes running 11.6s and still be entertaining. Obviously, for the hardcore track and field fan, they ain't gonna care about those slow times. But if somebody running 11.6 in the 100 and we can hype them the hell up and make sure it's entertaining to the crowd and then crown those champions and get them there celebrating, that's good. Shout out to everybody here. Kai Love, Insa Roy, Timothy the Inventor, Stephen Cuffey said Femke Bol had an amazing European Championships. Yeah, set championship record. I actually got her up here Karsten Vorholm came up in the 400 hurdles, came out there again. Unfortunately, like I said, he had pulled up, but he set a championship record. So, hey, he's setting records everywhere he goes. World records, championship records. Hey, you know, we all lose sometimes and stumble. But here's this. Kambunji. Now, this really shouldn't come as a surprise at all, because Dina Asher Smith been going through some things in more ways than one. And she lost against Kambunji actually at the Diamond League right before this. I thought it was a bad sign right here that she lost to Kambunji. And by the way, if my mic starts to muddle up and start getting all scratchy and stuff again, let me know ASAP. Because I had to send back the mic. They gave me the same one, and I was like, I don't want this mic anymore. So, yeah. So I'm waiting for the replacement, and I actually got a better one. So that should come sometime on Wednesday or Thursday. But until then, I'll be using this janky mic. It might start staticking up. So let me know if it does immediately, so I don't have to go 30 seconds or something like that. But yeah, Kambunji, she been working hard. I don't see how anybody could down on Kambunji at all. She's out here working hard. Remember, she's the world 60-meter champion. So she's got a good scalp in Dina Asher Smith, which is the world championship bronze medalist. At the same time as we know she's going through some issues because she pulled up at the world championships. I didn't really expect her to come here and you know, show out at the European Championships. To be honest, I thought it was going to be a little bit more difficult for her to do that. And as she said the other day, she's facing cramps in more ways than one, so maybe that contributed. Now, logically speaking, I don't think that does. I look at different studies and how maybe the menstruation and, you know, a woman's period may affect athletic performances, because they do have studies already for average people, incentivize them to, you know, exercise or see how they're doing, and they track it. They do. But what she was saying is they should have more. They should have more. And I think she used the platform correctly. People put a mic up in front of your face and you start talking. If it's things about racism, just like one of the British 4x100 meter athletes, I forget her name offhand. I should remember it in just a moment. Her and her fiance or her boyfriend or something like that. The way they be using these terms, partner, I can't tell. So, her and her boyfriend at the very least, or husband, boyfriend or husband, I don't want to offend, but they had got pulled over by the British officers. They got a video online about them being harassed, put in cuffs. They were searching for drugs. Of course, it's the wrong person, but they profiled them because they're black. That happened only a few months ago. Imagine, they could have got thrown away, got their brains blasted out. None of us would have known, because it's not one of the main hardcore, you know, sprinters, but they face discrimination. They put a mic in front of her face. She's talking about it. So with Dina Asher Smith, they put a mic in front of her face. She said, look, we need to have more studies to see how this goes. And I know some people had gut reactions. They thought it was a taboo thing. I don't think it's taboo. This is mainstream white media that makes things taboo. I'm like, this is just what we have to go through. I coached an all-girls team before. So, like, these are the conversations we got to talk with our athletes, and this is just something that's different between the men and the women. Even if men get a mini version of a cycle too. So, this is just real life stuff. But, yeah. Dina Asher Smith didn't do as well at this championship, and it's, hey, you know what? She wins some, she loses some. She's very injury prone. Somebody said she's made out of gingerbread a few weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe that is the case. So, that y'all calling her a little bit delusional this season. Hey, I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of the confidence. Because if y'all listen to some of the interviews that Dina Asher Smith has, I think if you read in between the lines of what she's saying, she goes through a hell of a lot over there in Great Britain. She goes through a hell of a lot in Great Britain. The pressures that they have for her. She goes through one heck of a lot. over there in Great Britain. Well, hey, this is from one woman to another woman. She's saying, I understand a period, but come on now. How many times do you have to run? Have you ran and won dealing with it? Hey, you know what? Yeah. Now, that's why in my mind, I'm like, look, I think I'm being empathetic here because I'm being empathetic here because it's a real life thing, and I have these conversations. Like I said, I had it with my athletes, but we don't know how many of the other athletes also are on their period or in their cycle while competing, and they still win and they won gold. Maybe they set a world record. We never know until we put a mic in front of their face. So on the one hand, it seems like making an excuse, and on the other hand, it's like, well, this is a real life thing. But when you're facing all other women and it's not a mixed thing, it kind of does sound a little sour. I heard a lot more criticism from women because, quite frankly, if a man says it, people ready to cancel that dude. And I'm just like, look, that's how you know you're not trying to be allowed to talk, right? When you can cancel somebody. And then you said she's delusional because she said she was running 10.6 last year. What do you mean? Can you... Well, actually, this is a call-in one, so I'm going to drop the Zoom link in just a second. I'm going to have my backdrop of all of the information here. But I think that will be a good to expound upon on a Zoom. I had to mute myself there and get my rabbit from jumping up here. But yeah, Kambunji, European champion. She been working her behind off. 22-32. Congratulations to her. Congratulations to the athletes out here. I just gotta wonder, does Nita feel a little bit salty because she decided to decline running in the 200? Because I'm like, this is her chance, and Nita can't catch a break. So we gonna talk about that one too. Remember, the title is Doing Better, and I'm focusing on Kambunji here. Actually, that's what this one is about. Right? Kambunji's been working hard. She's been there. She got herself surprised earlier indoor. And Kambunji, who knows? Maybe she didn't expect to necessarily win. Because people don't put mics in front of her face and she's not in that spotlight just yet. Maybe she'll get more confidence now going forward. But she's over here. We never know. We never know. Because she hasn't been the type that's been like, yeah, I'm going to win this whole thing. She's been that underdog type. So maybe it's kind of like how Ingebrigtsen was talking about McSwain, right? And he was like, yeah, you know, I'm the winner. I know well, he didn't say it like that, but kind of translating what he's saying. I'm the best. He literally was saying that type of stuff. And you can ask McSwain over there. He would tell you he shouldn't have won. I defeated myself. So maybe Kambunji is kind of like the McSwain, if McSwain would have said that. And I think that was real kind of disrespectful to McSwain to say, yeah, you know what? Ask McSwain, the winner of the 1500, he would have lost against me. And he got in his head because he didn't even show up at the European Championships after he lost at that Slave and Pony Show Olympics. Y'all call it Commonwealth Games. But he lost there. He said, I'm not going to show up at the European Championships, which is smart. He did what Shelly Ann Fraser-Price did last year. Raced against Elaine and beat her, and then boom, she didn't show up and face Elaine since then until she had to. Like, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price did a smart thing. She got in Elaine's head, if anything, in my opinion, from a tactical outsider point of view. Who knows, Elaine might have blocked it out, as she should. But at least from the entertainment and hyping this stuff up, and from a practical human standpoint, you get in the competitor's head like that. And obviously Ingebrigtsen was gotten in the head. Yeah, but yeah, that's what, didn't I say Whiteman? Did I say Waitman or some other weird name? Yeah, I meant Whiteman if I didn't say it correctly. I pictured him in my head, but I might have said the wrong name. But yeah, Kambunji here. She's been there, the underdog, and she really gets ignored. She gets ignored because even Talu sometimes places better than Kambunji. But Talu hasn't been on the top of her game. Kambunji shows up. She basically, when she shows up on the track, Kambunji makes finals. She's kind of like what's her name in the United States. She makes finals all the time except for this year. Since 2019, 2021, she's making finals in the 100. But then Kambunji is always a threat. And this is what I tell y'all. You got to show up and then you could do better. Somebody else off their game, Dina Asher Smith, slightly off. And she don't even need to be slightly off, right? It's just, hey, you don't expect fast times over and over because there's so many global championships, so many rounds. You can't peak forever either. So does Kambunji show up at the Diamond League finals? Let's see. Will she be able to run a quick time or however that goes? We'll see how that goes. Will she get injured? We'll see that too. But Kambunji's been there every single time. Yeah, Tiana Daniels. Every single time over the years. And she's been coming up. And let's see how her little sister does. Tadija Kambunji. Let's see how her little sister does in those hurdles. And maybe even the open sprints and everything. We'll see how they are able to take this one and take it to the next level. Excuse me, just a second. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to handle this rabbit in a second. But yeah, so if we are able to recognize the hard work that they do, we can apply this to our real life. Because I really gotta applaud Kambunji. She's really a try-hard athlete that's able to get now a European championship after an indoor medal. And I don't discount any of these global titles. Because the way I look at it is, look, I ain't going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to do it. So, hey, for them to get one right there, they at that head and shoulders above the rest right there. All the people showed up for indoor. Kambunji said, hey, guess what? She said, look, I won. Y'all was looking at Swoboda. Y'all was looking at Sant Price. You was looking at, dang it, I'm forgetting it. Man, I think I'm starting to get early Alzheimer's or whatever. That's not good. I could picture everybody in my head, but for some reason, I can't picture their name. And I see the name too, but I can't even picture it. But y'all know who it is. I'll be halfway playing with myself, but with the names and everything. But man, I cannot get their names. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. Everybody's looking at everybody else. Briscoe. That's who I'm thinking. That's who I wanted to say. But she didn't have to do like, hey, look, let me be like Coleman and pray, and then he lost and everything. She's over here like, look, I caught y'all slacking. And I won. Y'all saying y'all hyped for the Diamond League finals. Yep, Tyloo just ran that personal best for sure. Man, Tyloo is not really consistent. That's the thing. Tyloo's very inconsistent when it comes down there. If she learns how to lean, then that's her biggest downfall, to be honest. Tyloo is good at championships for sure. And she's definitely, she can win Diamond League. She's done it before. She's beat Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, twice, I think, before. Once, or I know for sure once. And then I think she beat her twice at a Diamond League. Just a regular Diamond League meet. But not many people have beat Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. And Tyloo's one of them. And I'm like, well, makes sense. With Tyloo, it definitely makes sense. It's just, Tyloo just be up in her face. Y'all see her face? Do I got the picture here? She kind of looks like this face right here. Is this the one? No. Yeah, Tyloo's resting face is kind of like that when she's running. She's like, ugh. It's like she's trying super hard and tenses up, but then she runs faster. Like last year at the Olympics, she was looking up. She's turning all the way around and then ran faster than when she was in the final tensing up. And I'm just like, Tyloo, could you run? Relax, please. You might actually win this whole thing. And she's always just there. And like, she doesn't lean and then she tenses up. But let's get back on here. She looked like she got a boo. Oh my goodness, y'all funny. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Timothy Inventor said, I was doubting Talu a crap ton this year, but she came through. Respect. Yeah, she is Brie Wayne. I agree. She does work hard. But let's look at some of these other events, and then I'll get back there. We got Zarnell Hughes. He won, so he lost his title in the 100. He got second, and then he came here and got the 200 title. So congratulations to him. Man, this came down very close. Oh yeah, and getting back to the Dina Asher Smith Kambunji thing. I mean, Dina Asher Smith put in the work. She came off the curve real good, but it's just like a Diamond League final. She came off the curve, then she started dying out. She just don't have the speed endurance this year. She may have had the speed, which allow her to match her personal best in the 100, but she doesn't have the speed endurance, and that makes sense because she would have lost some of her hard training when she went and got injured. Not when got injured, but got injured at the World Championships. So she couldn't train quite the same. So she had to sacrifice some of that. And it just shows. And it just shows. So I just got to say, like, there you go. But Zarnell Hughes, congratulations to him. I mean, he be trying his butt off. And I think he's been real disappointed in himself. Have I seen the qualification marks for last year? Man, y'all, what do y'all say? Y'all saying Talu been running constipated? Come on, y'all. Now y'all just going a little far. I did not look at the qualification marks just yet for the World Championship finals. I saw some of the marks for those, but 10 flat, that makes sense. I think it just gets harder when some of these fast tracks are there. Championship record for Femke Bol, 52.67. So that makes sense. Rizikova, I think this was her chance right here really to get second. And she dropped the ball. Did she drop the ball? Folorunzo, I think her personal best should have been, I think it's a little better than this, but everybody's running on the same track. I think Folorunzo from Italy, either former Nigerian or she just had Nigerian parents. But I think she had a chance of actually getting a medal at this point because of the times here and how they ran. She just wasn't in contention that whole time. And that's just unfortunate. But yeah, when it comes down to it, Femke Bol set a championship record. She's been running her butt off. That makes sense. She's one of the international stars there. So, and she's young. That's why I said she's going to be given, if McLaughlin keeps running, she will give McLaughlin, like, yeah, McLaughlin, you can't jog. I'll put it that way. Not a run for her money because nobody's in that stratosphere right now. The next closest person was dealing with multiple injuries, COVID multiple times and everything. That's Muhammad. I still got to say, Femke Bol and Muhammad on two different levels. And Muhammad is above Femke Bol, but obviously Muhammad's ain't really all the way there this year. So she winded up, losing to Bol. Now, if McLaughlin fell off, I just wonder, would 90% of her being there be able to win? And the way it's looking now, yes. She could probably be at 85% and still beat the bricks off of everybody. So, but yeah, we got to look at that. And then Vorholm, let me see if I bring up him. Where is this at? No, that's NICAC. Where is the men's 400 hurdles final? Let's open this in a new tab so I can close these down real good. Vorholm, this dude looked like smooth as butter. It looked like the old Vorholm back. And of course, he had a little bit more training. It's unfortunate that he got injured at the way it was. It's clear the man wouldn't have lost. Now, I wonder, is he going to be able to recover enough by next year? And I think so. With this 47-12, and based on the wind reading, where it was basically nothing, because wind does affect the other ones just in both directions. But with this 47-12 right here, I am convinced, had his injury happened earlier in the season, he would have still won. But coulda, woulda, shoulda. And by the time this time next year rolls around for Budapest, which starts on the 19th, so literally a year from now, that is going to be interesting. Who's going to beat him? Who's gonna beat them? But let's talk about doing better. Let's get back on the subject here. Congratulations to Vorholm with that. With that. Oh yeah, and by the way, like I said, NICAC is going on right now. That's going on yesterday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. North American, Central American, and the Caribbean. That's hosted in the Bahamas. So don't forget, if y'all want to check that, I am not covering it unless somebody with an NFT, two people with an NFT votes and ask me to cover that, because it's not on my schedule and it's just way too many championships. But I think we need to have more championships, more smaller championships that allow other athletes to be able to stand out, because this is how you remember athletes. Let me go through a list of athletes right now, and I bet you y'all couldn't tell me what country they run for, right? Oh, and by the way, many people, they said, bro, NICAC champs is so cheap. I like all the championships for what they are. I gotta say that I'm in no position to say anything like that, because I'm not hosting one. Because if I host one, it'd probably be looking as cheap as that one. I tell you that. I tell you that way. If you're thinking that's cheap, I would say mine would probably. You could probably understand when a newcomer is there, right? But maybe you don't understand when somebody like an organization like World Athletics is hosting something like that, right? But I gotta be fair and say, look, now I looked at the vote earlier, it was 50 votes. I asked this question. I said, let's have a hard talk here. Do you believe that certain athletes are ignored by the media complex or shoe companies? If so, comment below what specific instances you hear or see this. Now, out of 50 votes, we got 74% that says yes, certain athletes or nations are ignored. It says 2% say no. So based on this, that's one person that voted for it, based on 50. 50 votes. That means one person said no, it's just a coincidence or the listener's bias. And then we had 24% that said both. Certain people are ignored, but sometimes it's listener's bias. Now, I can open this up here. Let me bring up Zoom. And if somebody wants to come on, you can discuss that or any of the other topics that we had here. Let me bring up Zoom on here. I do not need you to... Oh, nice. They're offering me a massive discount on Zoom. This is good. But I don't need you guys to join in on a video. I do not need to see on video. Only join in with your voice, all right? We don't need to have video. One time somebody had their shirt off and they were in the bathroom, okay? Somebody had their shirt off and in the bathroom. We don't need any of that here, okay? We don't need you in your shirt off in the bathroom coming on the line. And that was very interesting. So that's the Zoom link right there. Let me pin it to the top of the chat. All right, that's the Zoom link right there. If you want to come in and discuss, definitely let me make sure I have everything set up correctly before people just start. If there is somebody that's here, before people come in and let's see this. All right. So yeah, if you want to come in on the Zoom, definitely join in right there, and I'll have this. Let me make sure that I have a sound that's played so that at least I know when somebody's coming in, even though I don't have it on the screen right now. But yeah, let me see. They said Rye might surprise 2 next season. Hopefully. American Track League looks so much better than NACAC. Well, there's a whole track league, and they kind of partner with existing things that are there, existing meets. So, yeah. They said, nope, he's too comfortable. They said, wasn't he injured right before championships? Yeah, he was injured right before. I mean, the big players, even if they're injured, they're so far above everybody else and ahead of them that, I mean, nobody's really close to them. I mean, nobody's really close to them in the 400 hurdles. So they could be injured and then they show up and the order might change, but the result is still going to be one of them 3, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, I want to bring something up here. Let me see. Let me check my Telegram real quick, because I copied this and I saw it and I said, look, if we don't get on this one quick, somebody else is gonna get on top of it. And I really appreciate what I saw here. It means people are listening. I saw it with Dina Asher Smith. Let me see if this pulls up right here, because I saw it on my phone when I was searching for some of the championships. Really? Huh. They don't have it. So I don't know about you all, but I saw a Dina Asher Smith. They don't show it here. This is unfortunate. They don't have a Dina Asher Smith 3D model. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that Dina Asher Smith 3D model that runs? And I wanted to show you all what that was. It was a 3D model. Okay, here it is. Oh, wow. They pulled it up on Dina Asher Smith, even on Reddit. They got Naomi Osaka. They got other people, so it's a Google thing. Has anybody ever seen the 3D models of these athletes? And they have them like for about 3 seconds or something like that. But they had Dina Asher Smith. I couldn't find it for any of the other Olympians. I just saw it with her Trike Pro outfit on and everything like that. Let me save and put this image up on the screen so y'all know what I'm talking about. Has anybody else seen the 3D model of Dina Asher Smith there? So much love to you. Nick be doing this call-ins, doing world champs or big meets. The chat is usually packed too. Yeah, I probably should be doing that there as well. They said, oh, so you said you think you saw one for Simone Biles? Yeah, that would make sense too. She's a huge name. Now, I didn't see one for the other athletes, and I was just thinking, I'm like, why don't they have them for other athletes? And then my buddy told me, well, you know, Dina Asher Smith, you know, models and everything. And I said, yeah, that makes sense. That's fair. So here it is. Here's her in 3D. Now, obviously, this is on Google, and I don't have the running picture, but think about it like this. I wish I could bring it up. If I can, I'll do it on the next video. A lot of people... And I think that this goes through what I say, what I see, not say. If you notice that people are ignoring you and you have somebody that's advocating, I think people should support. And I'm going to use this moment to talk about where we had a direction for the NFTs in the video game. If we can, we're going to have it here. We can either let the same people that are ignoring us, ignoring some of the athletes and their needs, do it, or we could support as far as the NFT. And I just asked for you guys, instead of going to a sponsor, a shoe company, or any of the big ones. I actually had 3 people come up to me, 2 on Facebook, and then one guy, he just called me up directly and was like, hey, Nick, I noticed that you start pushing the NFT again. Do you want me to buy a bunch of these? And I said, no, I want this to be a community effort. So 3 people could have bought it up, and none of them are from Jamaica. None of them were from the continent. None of them were black. 2 white guys, 1 Indian dude. And they said, hey, do you want me to buy up these? And they could have bought up the entire thing. I think that's around maybe 250,000 with current prices. It would have been 1.3 million. That just shows you how much the crypto market fell there, right? If that would have went from 1.3 million to $270,000. But definitely, if we get this as a community effort, remember, this supports the channel. This supports, like on this video, I don't have any ads on, or shouldn't. If you see an ad, let me know, because on this particular video, I have nothing on. It supports the animated race, fantasy races, so we might see some 3D models like this, and they're racing against each other, and a whole storyline and backdrop. This ain't gonna just be race-ups. I'm talking about storylines, if we can get that far, if it's popular enough. But if it's enough supporters that are here, then we get those there. I don't want to just have it 2 or 3 people. That'll be easy. Matter of fact, I could pay the money. The first, it'll be the lowest budget on the first one. That'll only cost about $5,000 to $8,000, if I'm not mistaken, on that first animated short. If I do the bare minimum only about 3 or 4 athletes. I don't have a full 8 lanes or 9 lanes in there. I don't have the announcers doing the introductions. It's kind of like a couple of seconds of a still shot, and I say something, then they start racing in that. That costs that much money to at least have a decent quality one. If I lower the quality, then I can have all of that, and there you go. But definitely, if you guys want to see this, a lot of us say, hey, look, they ignore Jamaica. They ignore the Caribbean athletes. A lot of the athletes in Africa aren't highlighted. I know I saw that last year when Amanyala broke the African record. Right? And they were like, look at you guys hating on a black man. I was like, dude, most of us are black here. What do you think Jamaica is? You think the Jamaicans that are here in the comment section and everything are non-black? There we go. But yeah, if you guys want to see more of this, literally head over to trackstars.io. Pick that up, because a lot of us will put our money in other places, and this is about, I think, equivalent to about $70 US right now. So if you guys normally put in a super chat or actually Cash App, some of you guys do that virtually every time I'm on a live, just divert that, go to crypto.com or binance.com or Kraken. Those, sign up for those. It'll probably take 24 hours for verification. Buy the Solana, transfer it over to the wallet that you need, Phantom, and then buy it there. Because we need to have this one right here and really bring this up. Guys, if y'all want more of this, because I'm trying to make sure I cover all the athletes and all the nations, whereas we don't get like super biased flow tax stuff. We don't get a lot of people are feeling with the British announcers, they like overhyping some of the athletes and not hyping the other ones. Or you just kind of get I just got to say it, you kind of get everybody like that. The Caribbean YouTube channels focus on the Caribbean only. The American channels focus on the US only. You don't really get many all-around channels like what I'm trying to put an audience together here. When I say trying, I really am. It's very hard to try to appeal to all of them, because as you can see, mainly sprinters here. So if y'all want those biases shown, then go ahead and get those NFTs, because at the very moment somebody else does, I have to go in that direction. It could be mostly subscribers that are sprinters, but if distance runners buy up the NFTs, as some have, or distance fans have bought up the NFTs and they say, hey, I want you to show more of this, I'm going to go in that direction, no matter if it's 5 people watching or 5,000. So if you guys want to see that and see some track meets and see things where you can win money too, because when y'all get up these NFTs, it's not only just that. Every championship season, and that would have included this one, I was going to give away almost $30,000 just by y'all making predictions on the 100, the 400, the 1500, and I think I had the 10,000 final is where I would have given away a collective of $29,000 between both genders. So you could have gotten as low as $500, and then as high as an individual would have gotten, I think, 5,000 rounded up. So about $4,000 to $5,000 one person could have got just by doing predictions. So if you hold those NFTs, definitely go ahead and do that. But this is talking about doing better. We're talking about doing better here. So if we want to do better, let's do better in track and field, and definitely support on all those levels. So I know there's a couple people here that have already gotten the NFT. And I know it's not a sexy topic, because people are like, yo, I don't want to part none of my money. I don't want to part none of my money. I'll go ahead and watch this. Track meets are free. I try to do it as much as possible. I don't like paying flow tax. They said they want to charge me $30, $50 a month just to see a track meet or something. Look, maybe we can lower the price with how we're going to do it. But yeah, just want to let y'all know on that one. Just want to let y'all know, at every single one of those counts. It kind of goes beyond that. So thank y'all for coming out as always. We got the NACAC that's here. We got the European Championships. The last day is tomorrow. We got thunder coming down. So let's see what we got. The final day's events. Got the 4x1s on the final day. Final day, 4x1. So they don't got the 4x4 as the last one. So they know that the 4x4s were today. But the 4x1 is tomorrow. So they definitely know what appeals to their audience. You can definitely tell where the 4x4 appeals to the United States, because USA just be kicking tail all the time. But 4x1 is definitely something that Europe still has a chance of, making the final, doing a good showing, because Europe does get teams, Great Britain in particular. So, in Germany, they kind of show up there. So this makes sense that they will have a 4x1. But there you go. Ken M, shout out to you for the super chat. Definitely. Also consider anybody, like I said, that are regular contributors or, here and there, definitely go over to trackstars.io and just get at least one. If everybody that's subscribed here get one of those, we will have that sold out. We got 3,700 in total, and we need to sell that out. I'm trying to do a big push. It's very hard to do it, but hey, I want to put this and prove that the small fans and the small audiences can actually put something like this together and actually be able to do it where I don't have to. If this doesn't work, if we can't come together on that aspect, then I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I might have to adjust, and then I'll see what direction I'll go with. But if we can do that together, definitely I want you on board. Same way that you guys are subscribed and everything here. But let's take a look at this. Where is this at? Hold on, guys. Give me just about 15 seconds here. I'm gonna go mute 15 seconds. All right, I am back. I know I would have lost some people there, but yeah. Let's see. Let's read these comments. They said, I definitely think she was telling BBC News that her relay teammates and other athletes confirmed that she asked for more research for it to be done. On women's issues. Yeah, like I said earlier in the chat or in the stream, I was talking about, and thank you, Ken M, and everybody else that's contributed to Super Chat and Cash App and PayPal. I don't know where my phone is. I think I got a notification that I got a Cash App earlier. But yeah, Dina is very proud. Dina is very proud, just like other athletes are. When you're used to winning, like sometimes you be grabbing and reaching. And I don't think that it's a reach for what she said, but then it's like, okay, let's say that she's correct, that there is more research that needs to be done. What happens? That's kind of where it goes. What happens after the research is done, right? Because if I said, hey, I want to see how athletic performance is affected by my period, what happens next? All right, let's confirm that it does play a role. Do we then take a survey to see where everybody is and then change the athletic championships? Do we go lighter or harder on the training? Because some women actually stop menstruating after they train so hard, particularly with the distance runners. If they go so many miles, it's a certain way that they train and the menstruation just stops. So it's kind of like, okay, I like that she brought attention to it. But I don't want people to think that she's using kind of the way she said it is kind of messed up, because it would have been better if she won and said it, because it sounds like an excuse, and it's kind of hard to argue against that. It wasn't like she was making an excuse, because in this case, it's like, who else is there? Did Miller Weibo go through something like that and still won? Did Fraser Price do that? Did Fem Cabot go through these things? Did other athletes go through these things? And it kind of looks kind of funny faced and funny style when you get Asher Smith after, really having a bad cramps in her legs and pulling up and everything again. And it's like, okay. So did, 2 or 3 weeks ago at the World Championships, it's like, it hasn't been a full time for a cycle to go through. You weren't, going through your period, and now you pull up. So did that have anything to do with it, or was it your training, or were you saying all the times you did it added up and then you pulled up? Like, that's where people are. That's what people are now criticizing her on. I see more women criticizing this whole thing than men. I saw more women. I think the men are tiptoeing. Like I said, people say whatever they're gonna say to me. I just speak it. They can't really cancel me. I don't depend on this or anything for my bread and butter. And I'm another person. I'm getting, I think, I have very similar views from last year as far as, view count. But the money that comes in is actually lower. So YouTube is paying out less with YouTube ads than it was before. I ran an experiment. I said, okay, I might even turn off YouTube ads altogether. I don't know if I will. It just depends on how that goes. And I might even turn it off all the way, especially if the NFTs go all the way how we're trying to push them through. So if it does, then not. But I see how that goes. YouTube is paying out less. So if I was dependent on it, man, y'all would think I'd be pumping out even more videos, more obvious videos, sensational videos like some people do. But no, I don't. So, Aj Lee said, I don't think men have any say on this issue, to be honest. Actually, you can. Men do have a say on it because she was right. More research needed to be done. But then what comes after that? What happens after the research? Because remember, the championships are hosted with men and women. So men actually have a say on it. You can't just be like, yeah, we're just going to do this. So does the whole championship get moved around? Do then women and men go on different days? What about, the cost of things? Because there are men that pay for these things too, as well as women. So men actually do have a say on it when it comes to the athletic championships. Now, if you're talking about a study and everything, then it's like, I don't see any point of arguing against it. I actually agree, even though there are some studies. More studies, great. We can do more studies. Then what happens after that? That's the next question that happens. So that's why it kind of sounds like she's complaining and whining to some people. You said nothing, Nick. Nothing. LOL. They said you cannot cry over spilled milk. Move on to the next race. Hey, look. Shearsbury Wayne said, why wouldn't men have a say? They are dads and husbands to athletes. LOL. Yeah, exactly. I don't get on that bandwagon where it's like there's nothing that men can say on issues where it seemingly is a woman's issue, where this is not really just 100% a woman's issue. This affects men and women and everybody in between, right? This affects men and women because this is a whole athletic sports league. This isn't like I'm training on my own and I want to be, more fit for myself. She's a professional athlete. So she's calling for that. And I think her using her platform is cool. When she did it and how that went about, now that's getting kind of side-eye and questionable. So, like y'all said, win or lose, wait a minute. Y'all said she diminished. Are you trying to say diminished or dismissed Kambunji? And then y'all said win or lose, Kambunji is never sore. To say she lost because of her period is crazy. She's been running for years, LOL, and probably won with her period. They say every woman has different periods. Some can be fine and some women pass out during their periods. Yeah, exactly. My wife says I get time in a month every month. Wait a minute, Kid M, go. Hey, expound upon that one. What you talking about? You get time? You get time in a month? Wait a minute, huh? Now, men go through a cycle as well. Um, Men go through a cycle as well. It's just not to the same extreme because men and women's bodies are similar, not the same. Before somebody start coming in with that talk, similar. We go through a mini thing. We don't bleed. The emotions don't go as now, if somebody don't have emotional discipline, I don't give an excuse to anybody like that. But they don't vary as much as a woman's. But there is a period of time during a month because all of our bodies kind of go through that, just like sperm goes through and got to be replenished and cleansed on a regular, daily, if I'm not mistaken, daily or near daily basis and whatnot. So yeah, men go through something like that. It's a very mini thing. It's not to the same extent and not really as comparable. Oh yeah, just look it up. It sounds funny when somebody say that when somebody says it out loud. I should really pull that up. I should just pull up that uh do that. So let's see. Men experience similar symptoms to women when they go through hormonal imbalances. Um, that's only, it says 26% of men actually say that they go through that. I'm glad this one isn't promoting that other stuff because I see many of them that are trying to say that, but no. Yeah, it's just look it up. I'm not even gonna pull that one up here. I'm not gonna pull that one up here because then it goes to a whole different conversation. Y'all just look that one up with that. It's gonna be hard because I just did a Google search and a lot of them are trying to push an agenda, and I'm like, no, just look at the science. And here you go. Let me here. The National Library of Medicine is a good resource. You know, the National Library of Medicine is a very good resource. Look, I read and I pay for studies and whatnot, so I always be going on the National Library of Medicine when I look up things. That's how I found out. If you technically, you can get the same benefit of steroids. I don't know if I mentioned this before. You get the same benefit of steroids if you were to crunch a bunch of, was it flax seed if I'm not mistaken? But it was so much. No, brown rice. There it is. You would have to basically have, I think, 40 pounds of brown rice. I don't know how the heck anybody eats that, but they were somehow able to get 40 pounds of brown rice in the study. I don't know how they came out to that number and ground it up into some kind of powder, I guess. It was very hard to get the subjects to eat it. But they found out you get the same benefits without the side effects of those testosterone anabolic steroids. There we go. And there you go. So it's a lot of things that you guys can figure out here. I'm always looking at this. And so if I ever open up an agency and whatnot, to do it in a healthy way and to get people to have higher athletic performances without breaking rules and whatnot, well, I think I would do that. But anyway, what are you saying? You say exactly, women are dismissed a lot of times. Wait a minute. Every woman has... Ajlee, I want you to call in. Hey, Ajlee, the Zoom link is right there. I'm going to drop it again. I need you to call in because you're saying an interesting comment and I'm a little bit confused. I think you need to clarify that on the Zoom. So come in and join us on a Zoom call. Here it is. I'm dropping it again. Join us on a Zoom call. Don't get on the video, but just join us in on that link and follow that link right there. Because you're saying some interesting comments and it will be preferred if you call in. Anybody else that's gotten banned before in the past, if you're listening to us right now, go ahead and do that. You can get yourself unbanned. If you got banned in the past, just be like, hey, I'm this person, blah, yada, yada, that you banned before, and unban me. But yeah, so here are the current championships right now. NACAC, then we got the European Championships. We're waiting for the Diamond League final. The Diamond League next race, I think, is the 29th, if I'm not mistaken. I forget when the Diamond League final event is. Let me look that up here so we can just say all of this right now. Hodgkinson finally has her gold in Munich. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Man, Hodgkinson been getting second place all over the place. She couldn't do anything but get second, and she finally got a win. Finally got a win. And I'm like, man, how could she get the win? And she got it at the European Championships. Well, the other competition wasn't there. So, hey, she showed up, she showed out, and she got it. So, Keely Hodgkinson, congratulations to her. When is the Diamond League final? Five records fall on NACAC opening day. I don't know how y'all don't like that. I enjoy the championships. I've learned to enjoy some of it. But let me ask y'all here. Let me ask y'all a straight question here. Because it doesn't look like Ajlead is coming in. Ajlead, you getting scared? Okay. Out of the people that are here, I'm going to assume that you all are hardcore, more or less, track and field, or maybe sprint fans. I'll put it that way. And maybe only national fans. I don't know, because some people are and some people aren't. But for the athletes that are, or the people that are here, what makes you watch track and field? What do you think makes you watch track and field? Because I've asked coaches, I've asked athletes, I've asked them, and it's kind of like asking somebody, like Henry Ford said, hey, if you ask people, they would have asked for a faster horse, not a car. So I do give that with a grain of salt. But why do you think you like track and field? Because sometimes answers, the way in which people answer questions, allow us to find out what maybe the true answer is, or whatnot. And then specify if you're a track and field overall fan and you virtually like almost every or all the events, or if you only like certain events like the sprints. Because the way I'm looking at it is, I had a suspicion, and the more people I ask, people don't like the multi-events because they look at them as like they're not good enough to, be fast in these other events. And so they just kind of be like the jack of all trades. But they're not really good in the 200, they're not good in the 100 or 110 hurdles. They're not good in the jumps or the throws, and they're not good in mid-distance. So they just kind of throw them in this thing, and they happen to be decent enough to get points. And I was like, man, that's kind of weird, because wouldn't they be the most athletic out of the entire track and field? Because they're literally doing everything. They're doing from the throws to jumps, and in the case of vaulting for the men, because they stopped doing that for the women, or they changed up some things on the women's side and whatnot. Like, they're doing everything, but people don't really look at them like that. And I didn't in the past either. I said in the back of my head, I think I'm an average, everyday person looking at it. And I think I got an advantage of keeping my frame away from track and field, looking at it like an average person. And I think most people kind of look at multi-eventers like, yeah, they don't look like they're the best. And unfortunately, that's how people are looking at it. Isaiah McEwen said, I only watch the sprints and jumps. And we only want to see the best performances. So the multis is boring, LOL. Okay, that makes sense. That's fair. I don't think anybody's right or wrong in whatever opinion they may share here. I'm curious to see where people are watching this, or watching these, because it's very interesting. Timothy the Inventor said, nah, I love the multis. Yeah, I do get people. I actually like the multi-event as well. I like the race walk now. I didn't more so in the past until I started announcing it. Then I started seeing people race walking sub 6 minute miles, and I'm like, do you know how hard it is for a regular person to run 6 minute flat, or to break 6 minutes? I didn't realize that it was hard, because it's like my first race I think was 6:20, and then after that it was like I was 5:35 and then 5:20 something. It was just like my first race, super dehydrated. Nobody else was there but me and my teammate, and he was just running circles around me. And then after that, when I had competition, because the other team didn't show up for our very first meet, it was only us two. Yeah, it's weird. Uh, Timothy Inventor said, if you only like sprints and jumps, you ain't a track and field fan. You're just a sprints and jumps fan. That makes sense. Tapper said, I love the multis as well. Yeah, I'm a sprint fan. Everything explosive is what I prefer. 400 meters and under. Ken M, I like a lot of sports. Back in the day, I was good at the 2, the 4, the 8. My best was the 1500. Interesting. Dang, from the 200 to the 1500. Now that's an experience right there. That's an experience. Yeah, so I found, hey, look, if y'all ask me, like I said, I prefer, if you got to pin me down and put a gun up to my head and say, answer this right now. What events do you prefer? I'm going to say pole vault, long jump, triple jump. Like, I love me some field event. If nothing else existed in track and field but the marathon, there we go, marathon. I really like watching the marathon. I watch every single step from the first to last place for the pros. I can't watch all the regular people all the time and whatnot, but I watch every single step from the pros from first to last. Whoever they got up there, I wait until that last person finished before I cut off the program, unless I'm, trying to recap for you guys, and then I come straight here. But then I go back and then I rewatch it from start to finish. But yeah, I love the marathon. I didn't really care for it back in the day, some years ago, but I really do. But I prefer the field events, but I like all the events. I like all of them. And when I say the field events, I mean jumps and the vault. Not even really like the javelin is okay. I like shot put a lot. I think it was because I was close to a shot put coach, and I just after watching it and everything, I got a new respect for it. He said good range. Fair enough. I enjoy sprints too, but I'm an all-arounder fan. Yeah, I'm glad you guys shared that. But let me see this. Let me bring this back up on the screen. So we got one more day of the European Championships. What I'm going to do for that one, I'm going to recap the entire meet for the European Championships tomorrow. So I'm going to see what time I'm going to do, because I know that what time is the last event? I think I'm roughly 6 hours behind. So in this case, that's 9:21, or yeah, 9:22 is the last event. So what I'm going to try to do is between 20 minutes to 2 hours after that last event, I'm probably going to recap the entire too much sand and no sea. That's funny. I'm probably going to recap the entire European Championships. We kind of give our thoughts and everything like that on all the events. I'm pretty sure after that 4x1, people are going to be excited about that, or maybe not. They're going to trash talk and say, well, the times weren't fast or whatever. Like, look, it's in Europe. I don't even know why people even would complain about whether the time is there or not. Yeah, it's good to boast and brag, but at the same time, these people came up and they're working hard. It's just like anything else. That's the hard thing about track and field, I think, to get regular people in track and field. I think just because the time is the main factor of track and field and swimming to a lesser degree or a greater degree, is that when you see slower times, it doesn't get appreciated. And I mean, that kind of happens in my head too. But you don't see that with the NBA. You can see teams that are playing better. When I saw the Bulls live, when they were in their little golden era, I say little, what the heck? They were in the golden era with Jordan, and I saw them live, and then I saw other teams. You could tell the difference between how the Bulls were playing and the other teams. And I think to a certain extent you could tell a little bit on television, but it's not the same. It's not the same thing. And I just am like, okay, You don't have a clock there. The same way that you got a clock with the track and field people. Now, if you see a game that scores 30 points in the NBA, you're going to be like, what the heck was going on here? Like, they're blocking so much, like the points aren't going up. And people, I saw that. They saw that with the women's basketball. It was like a low point scoring game. I don't even know if I think they crossed 20, but I'm not even sure if they crossed 20 points. And it was a really hard to watch game because compared to even other women's basketball, and I like women's basketball up until they get to the pro level, then I'm just like, what is going on? I got to be honest. I like it until it gets to the pro level. Like college basketball, high school basketball is, I think, my favorite for women's basketball, or in this case, girls. It's just like, it's very competitive. Like everybody out there, trying hard and everything. But I think slower times in track and field is kind of like, it's hard to equate to any other sport. So I think we need to get the emphasis off the times. Because at some point, records and times may not be broken. But what is going to be there is, this is going to, he or she is going to be the champion. He, she, or other is going to be a champion if they finally make a different category. And you can't really equate that to past times at all. Because these are new tracks, new everything. Different eras have different tracks, different spikes, different all of these. And even if the times get slower or faster, guess what? Kambunji's European champion. Dana Asher Smith is silver. Sharika Jackson just blew the bricks off of everybody, no matter what her time. Her time could have been 25 seconds. She had a gap on the rest of the field. She just won at the World Championships. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, regardless of any times, here's the thing. Here's the emphasis on that. She doesn't have the world record. Anybody can argue boo-hoo, including myself. I've gone back and forth on it, and I'm just like, look, the record is the record. The price is the price. She can't break that record as of yet, and nobody else is either. Nobody's close to it. Right? And yet, how many times has she burned the bricks off of everybody that has come up to her, from the Olympics to World Championship finals, during the regular season, during the Diamond League, during the Continental Tour, right? And if you just take the Diamond League should be counted because that's a league in itself, just like Premier League, NBA and stuff. Oh yeah, I'll get to your comments in a second about the decathletes. Yeah, they do got extreme range. But y'all can't take that away. But with track and field, it's hard to get the people in. That's why I liked and I got very involved with the U20 heptathlon when they said 3 seconds or 3 points were this many seconds. Is this many seconds for this? Or 16 points every second. And I was like, okay, there's 32-point difference. I'm like, okay, look, they can't get past 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds, or else the German athlete that's in second will fall to third. And that made me excited for her. I'm like, okay, here's the 800, this is going, and I'm over here calculating. That's how you get people involved when you explain it. They never really break down the point scale ever. It's like it's very hard to understand. So you're here, if you explain just the simple, very quick, people will probably get involved with the multis. People will really get involved with the multis and say, this many points equal this. Just make it simple. Track, you take away the time like they did when one of those events was slow. I think it was the Open 400. I think it was the Open 4, matter of fact. And then it was one of the hurdle events. They took the time straight off the screen and people were asking, what's the time? What's the time? What's the time? The time, they did show the time, but then they took it off the screen. And because it wasn't as fast as what people thought on the men's 400, they just took it off and they emphasized, here's the win. That's the important part. Who cares about the time? I don't care if it was 46 seconds. So let me see. Timothy Inventor said, I like the decathletes because yes, they might run a slower time in one event, but they still got 9 other events to compete in. Their athletic range is just amazing. Yeah. Isaiah McEwen said, slower times is no fun. Problem is diminishing returns. They play against opponents. Track athletes race the clock. They play against opponents. Track athletes race the clock. Well, see, that's the thing. That's why I want to have more head-to-head. And since we're here, we're almost finished on tonight's topic. Thank y'all for coming out and the people that support here. We got a small group, but we got a good group that comes out on a pretty regular basis. And I really do enjoy that you all do come out here. But let me bring up this. If this is why track and field will die if we emphasize the times, and why it doesn't die. See, I'm only one step away. This is why I'm really trying to push up this NFT. Because there are things I said last year, and then I had to make those videos private because there are people listening to me. And I tested it out when I said something and I directly talked about these media companies other than the Head and Shoulders Above the Rest. Notice they just stopped saying it. They immediately stopped saying it. As soon as I started saying it, it was like calling them out, and it wasn't really calling them out. It was more like, hey, look, I used that as a demonstration that they were, copying. And I could have used the word borrowing. But they immediately stopped saying it. Even a couple of times, the co-host almost said Head and Shoulders Above the Rest and was like, and then switched the words up. They're actively listening. So that means I can't do and say what I want. Because one of these things requires a little bit more money, and I'm not willing to put all of the risk on myself, because that's not how things are done. When people do companies, they do crowdfunding. I want us to do a group funding here, right? Which is why I do giveaways, and I'm gonna do 10 to 20 to 30 to $50,000 giveaways every championship final, assuming that the NFT sell. If they don't, then because the NFT is like almost like a raffle ticket too, so it doubles for that. You get voting rights and all types of things. But there is something that I will do here that they're not currently doing in track and field, and I am darn near convinced that this is the pathway we need to go. I'll take Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, for instance, because she's just at the top of the list. It doesn't matter which athlete. Here's something else that we can do. So this isn't what I was talking about here. But here's something else we could do. Okay, where is it at? Oh, I missed it. Now you see this head-to-head right here. Maybe you don't. Let me change the camera. So it says head-to-head, 60 meters. We don't have the head-to-head matchup, but they're slowly trying to do that. They're slowly trying to do that. Now, I got a pretty confident way that I think I can hype this up. But one, I would need to, host an event, most likely. But there's a way I could not host an event, and I could be like one of those media promotion companies. Kind of like WWE and Vince McMahon and everything. Shout out to Jason Black when he was talking about Vince McMahon and all that breakdown. But even regardless, I had already been looking at the promotion, how they do in wrestling and in UFC and everything like that. There's a way to promote this where, remember, Michael Johnson and his matchups, his multiple matchups, and he lost both of them. Even though one time they pulled up. It wasn't an emphasis on time on that one. Who cares what they would have ran in a 150, right? We could have saw a world best or world record. But it was about, okay, world's fastest man in the 100 versus the world record holder in the 200. And it's like, okay, who's actually the world's fastest man? Is it Donovan Bailey? Is it Michael Johnson? And we know the results of what happened. But that's the matchup type of thing there. And beyond that, what about that time when they matched up the people and they said everybody run an indoor, was it 300? Maybe it was a 400. And they were trying to get that, and then did Walter Dix break the indoor 300 record or something like that? Or they were trying to get people to break the indoor 300 record, and they just were like getting multiple athletes to come out. And then I think Walter Dix won. So there you go. Okay, yeah. See, Isaiah, you get where I'm talking about. I'm hinting toward it without saying some of the things there. You just said need a championship belt, if that's the case. Backstories behind the main three athletes. And I don't think it needs to just be three. I don't think it needs to be three, because this channel is not about just the three athletes. Well, although it's kind of fallen into that. But yeah, think of it like this. You get the backstory, the head-to-head, You do get the music. That's what they did here at the European Championships. They did not do it at the USA's, which is unfortunate. I think that was a big ball drop. But they wanted to do what they thought worked, and I think it did work for the USA Oregon audience. I wonder how it worked with the overall USA audience. Would it could have attracted more? Yeah, we do need more track and field matchups. They said the main guys in other sports go at each other every week. A lot of track athletes are dodging each other. Now, see, you can still hype up a dodge. Imagine you hosting a league. I can't say too much, but imagine you hosting a league, and when they sign up for your league, they're required to show up like they're part of your league. Right now, it's a mashup. It's a free for all. It's kind of like tennis. You could show up to the Grand Slam. You don't have to show up here. You could do the Wimbledon. Am I mixing golf with tennis? Dang, I'm starting to mix some things up. I think Wimbledon is tennis. But you could go to Wimbledon. You can go to the Australian Open. You can go to all of these things if you want. Obviously, they want money, so many of them will. But you don't have to go to it, right? You could probably say, I am going, then drop out last second. But you don't have to do those things. Track and field is really like that in the tennis aspect. But if you do it where it's kind of like the NCAA system, or you do it like a different system where it's like teams, even if it's after the season, like what they do in swimming, where they have the people on teams and they do that like pull out a lottery hat thing and they're going to assign them to teams arbitrarily. That's kind of cool and a little gimmicky, but it's like, hey, you're going to be on this team and everything. That's cool. But we could do a lot of different things. That's why I push the NFT and why we're doing a crowdfunding aspect. Another reason for it. If you guys actually are putting it in the work and sweat equity as well with me, because I'm going to handle all the logistics. If you guys like what you see on the channel and you then invest in that aspect of it, where it has incentives for you as well, or we have a sports betting aspect and sports betting site, and you may be rewarded based on those things. I'm not sure 100% on that, because then I got to look at some legalities and how that thing goes down, and if it becomes like shares and stocks and a security and things like that. Don't know if I 100% want to go in that direction. But potentially with the sports betting site, you get rewarded on that, or you get bonuses. That's one aspect already built in. You get athletes that could be featured in here, where we get the Dina Asher Smiths, the Karsten Vorholms, Sharika Jackson, Shelly Ann Fraser Price, and everything. Hey, imagine you got a video game like a Michael Jordan type of effect, but you got it like Shelly Ann Fraser Price, and then she's the person. She's retired now. And you know how the new NBA 2K games and everything has the 98 Bulls or the 98 Jordan? They had that like anniversary edition or something like that, and they had him in there. And they keep putting Jordan in these games, and he hasn't been in the freaking league in a long time. You could get something like that, and that's where I'm trying to head in the direction. Or you get a track and field game that isn't just a straight line, because they don't like to actually have you dodge and weave in and out of a 1500 or a 4x4, right? That's some of the stuff we want to do here. But getting back to this, you can definitely hype up track and field in a different way. It's risky, which is why they don't want to necessarily do it, and they do things very slow. I do respect what some of the actions are taking place, but in other ways, I'm like, especially because USATF budget seems like they could go bankrupt at any given year if they don't do things perfect. So I definitely understand why they don't want to do things. But is that because of Nike? Maybe. There's a lot of money in track and field, but some companies get it more than others. They said, what after entrance music? Isaiah McEwen said, what if after the race the winner needs to take the mic in the interview and call out the athletes hiding? Yeah. Imagine if Fred took the mic out post-race interview and called out Marcel. They said Fred kind of called him out on Twitter. You said the picture is a perfect for a game cover. Yeah, that could be something right there. That's an in-action photo. She got her muscles coming out. She's out there screaming. There's some other things. Imagine all of these things, and that's how we get started right here. So I got visions of grandeur, uh, and hey, it all starts here. So if you guys want to see that, definitely go there. But you need a cryptocurrency to buy those on trackstars.io. You got to get crypto.com. I could just be dropping referral links and stuff like that. I'm just not. It's not that serious to me. If I have to, because people really would rather click something instead of having to type it in, I guess. But crypto.com is an app, not on the website, an app. You get it on your phone. You can buy Solana on there, SOLANA. Probably got to buy $80 or $90 worth because it's a little tiny fee and whatever, and then you send it over to Phantom Wallet. I prefer everybody get 2 or 3, to be honest, but if everybody gets at least one, that will help greatly. Anybody that got one before, hey, it's now I think half the amount it was before. So if you spent it one time, now you can get 2 more. I'd rather it be a community effort than one, but because if we have a community effort, we already got a small audience. I got to tell y'all just one thing from behind the scenes. If I have many people that contribute, that's more people power than those 3 people I mentioned before. That means I already got an audience of a few thousand that I know are interested in seeing the success of what is happening. But if I only have 5 or 10 people and they buy all of them up, then it's not going to be the same type of buy-in. That's why I also bring it up to you guys. If you guys are really serious about it, because some of you guys did mention it before, and then it was like crickets, because, coming there, hey, we see y'all out in the club, y'all spending it up on a lady. Guys, y'all know what I'm talking about. Or y'all out there saying, man, this food inflation right here. Hey, don't buy that junk food that you were going to buy. Put it on the NFT. Because we want to do these things big with track and field. All jokes aside, though. All jokes aside. Let's try to do that with this track and field meet. Track and field animation. Track and field game. A gambling site. A sports betting site is, I guess, the more technical way to do it. They say, LMAO, that's crazy. You into something, man. Yeah, I'm going to try to do a lot of things here. But yeah, definitely the head-to-head. I've already started collecting data on a lot of things right now. What y'all see, every time y'all see me do something, I've probably done 7 to 12 things behind the scenes for every one thing, including the times where I say, hey, I'm going to do this stream and then I don't do it. I got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm doing right here. I just need to make sure I'm trying to do everything well. Now you can see the 200-meter matchup right here between, oh, you guys don't see it's a Jorge on the other side. Imagine we get, here's how it could go right here. We get, what happened to a Jorge? Actually, let me match Shelly Ann Fraser Price up with somebody else. Let me go ahead and match up Shelly Ann Fraser Price to, and let's say it's a title belt on the line. This is the title belt on the line. And the title belt, if we follow boxing, it can only be within the top 4 or 5. They got so many ranking systems out there. Man, where the heck is Elaine? Yeah, come on, it's going by last name. Come on. Okay, here's Elaine Thompson Hero. Now, you see their resumes right here. This is the head-to-head right there. And you're like, okay. Here's how somebody could hype this thing up in a small way. You get a stream out. You get something going. You get the posters and everything ready. And then you say, world champion. Let's just say it's a title belt. It's at the Diamond League final. It's this year. They were like, somebody could say, Diamond League final. Be there or be square. Some really lame and over-exaggerated thing that everybody laughs about, but then they got that one deep announcer dude that does all the movies and everything, or does something like that, or just in boxing the UFC, and you got the people out, or you got somebody like myself, and they're like, look, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, multiple world champion right here, versus the Olympic double, triple title holder, matching themselves up, going head to head in the 100-meter final. This year, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price is married to 10-6. You put her out there, with the exception of one time, and she just kind of walked out of the blocks. She has a 10-6 going up against Elaine Thompson-Herah. She seems to have found a second win. You see that she was a double Commonwealth champion in the 1 and the 2. Times were irrelevant. Remember, they're in a colder climate. It was things that were different, but they're matching each other up here at the Diamond League Final, September 29th, 2022. You guys got to come out there and imagine that they just hype these up. Every time Elaine Thompson-Herah and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price match up, it's going to be magnetic. Remember, Elaine Thompson-Herah has more wins against Shelly Ann Fraser-Price than in the other way around. So that means Shelly Ann Fraser-Price better be watching her back when Elaine Thompson-Herah comes out of the blocks. Because, yeah, she might get the jump, but remember what happened last year. She spooked her so much that she actually tripped, and she put her head up early. Remember, about 50 meters into the race. You see how people can hype these things up? Now, apparently, some people didn't like that. I got a lot of people that was leaving. They was like, man, I don't like the hype. They said, look, I don't like the hype. Let me just leave. But if you get people out like that and they are really fighting for these things, and they say it's a belt and $20,000, $100,000 on the line, whatever, it goes into pay-per-view for some of these things. Imagine that stuff gets hyped up in the same way. That would be the next level thing. Because you know that stuff can happen. It's already happened. They had it for Haile Gebrselassie when they tried to pay him $1 million to break the 2-mile world record. He couldn't do it. He couldn't break 8 minutes. The dude darn near started crying afterward because he only got, I think, $20,000 to do that. They did the Michael Johnson versus twice, 2 different people. And, of course, Michael Johnson took L's on both of them. One time they both took an L, and then the other time he just took an L. So, I mean, we already got these matchups that were there. Oh man, I don't really, I didn't want to go there, but you said it yourself. Tapper, whichever one, Tapper, T-A-P-R. You said sometimes, let me read Isaiah's comment first. He said, 2s for the championship belt. Hey, yo, Unconventional Voices of Track and Field has a good example of it. Oh, really? Interesting. And then you said the athletes need to be talking like that. Oh, man, that's lit. Track needs pay-per-view. The athletes have to meet the promoters halfway and bring some entertainment off and on the track. Yeah. And then Tapper says, sometimes I tell myself the commentators are the reason the sports scene is boring. All right, you went there, and I know they listened to me, and I know somebody's going to clip this one out. But, hey, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make a better sport and to make better people. And we don't got that many people in the live stream. So, hey, look, I know who's doing it now. If somebody do it right here. I know who's did it. Look, I just got to say that I agree partially to that. And in some ways, there was an announcer for Britain that was a little bit more on the low-key side. And it was like, yo, and if you listen to the marathon, you'll know what I'm talking about. Because, I mean, Hutchins, man, he be keeping that stuff alive. Even in the marathon, that's why I like to watch it. That's what really got me into it. Because Tim Hutchins, the dude been announcing for so many years. I think since it's in late or early 90s. I forget when he got injured and he basically retired from track, and then he kind of came into announcing and commentating and everything. But he kind of keeps it alive. But one of the British announcers, I was like, dude, you putting me to sleep. Like, I mean, he was announcing. Look, it is what it is. This is just our personal preference here. But I mean, he was announcing Usain Bolt, and I'm just like, yo, this supposed to be lit. What the heck is going on? Like, you missing a perfect moment. Usain Bolt is over here, and then it's like, if I mimic his voice, I got his voice on exactly how he talks, so everybody would know exactly who I'm talking about. So I won't say that directly. I give him respect because commentating is not easy. I'll give them respect for what they do. But yes, we need some lit track and field announcers. And a couple of times I felt like they announced track like it's National Geographic, and you out here watching on a safari or something like that, and you just like, not because of racism before somebody says that, but just be like, yo, the sprint events are power events, so you're supposed to be like, oh my goodness, this thing, like, you got to be on top of it, the same way that they do the British announcers sometimes, and they be like, oh my goodness, 10-2, this is amazing, it's the greatest time on the planet. It'll be like that. Like, they don't be doing that all the time when it comes to like the other non-British athletes, but when they come to the British athletes, it's like they voice, the pep goes up, the pep in the step, like they be going all haywire. Now, I know I'm not the only one that hears that. So if we do get that across the board, then track and field just goes to another level. But I gotta argue against that point one time, because golf doesn't have like the over the top announcing either, to be fair. But it's not the same. It's not the same, to be fair. Cricket doesn't have over the top announcing, but it's not the same either. So, and golf is kind of, in my opinion, dying from the way I look at the stats. So golf is a little bit falling off. They putting a lot of money in there, so people can't really tell. But golf ain't where it's at, and they're trying to adjust golf for the younger demographic, because they notice the younger demographic ain't on golf. So they're trying to make it more short. So I'm letting y'all know that all the sports are adjusting. It's not just track and field. Golf can fall off just like that if they don't adjust. And they got billions of dollars that they be putting into that. Billions of dollars are there. And I watch these statistics and everything all the time. You can see NFL, NBA, the Premier League and all this stuff on top, and then tomorrow, boom, nowhere. Just like that. And it'll happen slowly and then all at once. You said Shelly took a beating. I know why she on fire this season. Yeah, exactly. They said, I swear they be gassing Zarnell. The sprinter's personality is similar to the event's nature. They need to adjust the announcers by the events. Yeah, I my eyes got opened up when I was thinking, man, what's her name? I'm sorry, I had to mute somebody at the U20 championships because it was just getting to me. No, or was it the U20 championships? It was it was one of the championships here. It's too many. I watched them, except for Commonwealth. I didn't watch that. I saw a clip of a few things, but I didn't really see it, and I didn't see it myself. It was somebody like, yo, you gotta see this, putting it in my face, and I'm like, okay, cool, and then type it in, and then I see it. So, but yeah, I had to mute somebody, and I was like, man, this was really bad. This was really bad. And they've been at this for some years, and this is really bad. And all of us have off days, though. So it's just unfortunate it happened at a championship event. So I've had off days, just like y'all hear me here. I've had off days just trying to struggle through talking, and I had hiccups. That's horrible. And I had an off day at a track meet, and they said, Nick, put some bass in your voice. I remember that one time. My voice just ain't deeper like that, and I don't really feel like faking my voice. I've heard people with higher pitched voice than mine, and they sound like an excellent announcer, and people love that. But when he said that, I realized how boring my voice sounded. I was like, yeah. And in the lead, in the 400, Allison Felix, followed by Shanae Miller-Weibo, and I fell into that, and I had to be like, Allison Felix, Shanae Miller-Weibo, look at them tear up the track. I had to get myself and wake it up. Once he said that, I realized how boring I sounded, and I had to light it up. And sometimes, maybe they don't hear themselves because somebody close to them is not really saying it. They be like, oh yeah, this sounds good. And sometimes it's good to try new things. And I noticed some of them, more than others, try new things. It doesn't work all the time, but it does. And that's all I'll say on that. You did open it up, and I'll say that from one commentator to another commentator. I'll say it that way. And I don't want to get on them too hard because, quite frankly, I'm not in their position right now. And much less do I need to. So, yeah, I'll say it that way. And I even when I'm doing the live stream, y'all know I'm projecting my voice a little bit. But sometimes I even think back, I was like, man, I'm over here reading this off like a script. So I even criticize myself on it. Nobody's above it, including myself. I'm like, dang, I sound boring. So I try to make sure at least my voice is projecting and everything like that. So yeah, definitely this head to head right here. Shelly Ann is on fire. And the way I look at it is, this year she got herself beat last year. She beat Elaine. She did not try to race up against her again until she had to. She didn't race against Elaine again until she was forced to race against Elaine, and the results were predictable. I said this last year. I told y'all about it, and this is how you get in people's head. If Ingebrigtsen cannot race against what's his name from Great Britain, he's gonna get his butt. Either he's gonna tear up every race, he might get injured from racing too hard because he's angry, because he might even dodge him. Who knows? But if he doesn't get to race against him again, and that's what I would do. If I beat him at the World Champs, I don't care. I'm a dodge the mess out of him. Unless they force me to do it, I don't even care if it's a Diamond League final. If I see Ingebrigtsen's name on the sheet in the 1500, I'll run a 5,000, I'll run an 8, I'll run a 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I'll run everything else except for the 15 because I don't want this dude to think he can beat me. I want him to know the sting. They said she's sick of Elaine. Yeah, exactly. So this is how we can hype this up, y'all. So if y'all want to see some of this stuff, if y'all want to see some of the stuff that I have here, and I will hire people to be doing this stuff. If y'all want to be the hype up person that gets hired, let me know. HeadAndShouldersATR at yahoo.com. I always take that in. I'm gonna need your voice. I'm gonna need to see how you sound. We're gonna do a little small test. We might have you co-host or something here, but we'll hire some people for it. But y'all go ahead and get those the NFTs, trackstars.io. I hate to be a shiller, but hey, it's for a good cause, because otherwise I don't be caring about trying to shill anything. I don't care about doing any of that. But yeah, I use Shelly Ann Fraser Price here as a backdrop. It can be anybody. Let me do one more example of a matchup. Let's take TT Terry real quick. Let's take TT Terry real quick. And then after this will be my last thing here. Now, who should I match up against TT Terry? Somebody that's around her level. Who do y'all think I should match up with TT Terry in a 100? Actually, I'm curious about the Dina Asher Smith. Okay, Dina Asher Smith has been ahead of her in both times they matched up. You know what? TT Terry doesn't have a long enough history. Yeah, she doesn't have a long enough history. Oh yeah, Kambunji. Because I wanted to take somebody that really wasn't as big of a name. So I'll take Kambunji. You said Tamari Davis. Yeah, I need to take somebody that's a little bit older, because they got at least more of a history. Because yeah, I think it's easier to hype up a newcomer, because you could be like, newcomer Tamari Davis versus something like that, like newcomer, she has this, she's under this age, she's only 19, she's only 18, she's this, she's 20. You could start saying person's age versus yada yada at whatever age. You could do that. You could take it a little bit different direction. If you got a Sha'Carri Richardson, you could say 6th fastest of all time. You can't take it away from her versus yada yada, this long history, that type of thing. You could do all of those. Oh, Aaliyah Hobbs. Okay, gotcha. I'll Kambunji and Aaliyah Hobbs. Let me go. Let's see. Have they raced each other that often? Because I'll see how I'm going to match this up. Let's say the biggest names at a meet would be these two, right? The biggest names at the meet are these two. Okay, Prefontaine Classic. Okay, so she's got ahead of her once. Man, she beat the bricks off her that other time. Oh yeah, this was in 2019. And then this year, she finished ahead of Hobbs at the final. Okay, I got you. So, they said, nah, Dina would destroy Terry. Yeah, yeah. So let's just say you got, okay, let me try to hype this one up. How it would be a head to head. Obviously, you got other athletes in there, but they would be like the preview act, just like in boxing. You got the minor league people or the people trying to work up through the ranks. So let me do another thing here, because this is how we would do it completely. Let me duplicate my tab, because I need to see another thing here. Since they don't have as many titles behind them, this is what we need to do. Okay, and this is how we take the emphasis off the time. This is how we take the emphasis off the time and more in the matchup. Now, she's ranked number 6 in the world. I bet you guys didn't know I was going to go there. Versus 5th in the world. That's how you do it. This is how you take away somebody like a random teenager, a collegiate athlete, right? A Sha'Carri Richardson, if she doesn't have the overall ranking like that, you just randomly have a little kid run a fast time, a collegiate athlete. That's another thing that takes away from the sport in general. You got all these college athletes thinking they'll do it. And of course, the collegiate coaches don't want anything to be separated, because that kind of brings them higher pay at the university, bring them more athletes and stuff. But hey, look, I'm all here for, improving the sport and getting more eyes on it. Then we get more eyes, more money comes. Hey, look, I'm gonna get a trickle of some of that. Okay, for all the people pocket watching, I get some of that. Maybe some of you guys will get some of that, because I will hire people that are some of the fans here on the channel, right? Then you guys will get some rewards with that, because as I'm making money, I'm gonna do giveaways. That's just what I do. I like to do that. So yeah, it's a lot of things that can come out of this. So how would we match this up? We'll say, let's say we got Zoe Hobbs in there. We got this person, that person, random person, A, B, 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 and then we got Kambunji. I'm not going to do the for real announcing thing here. I don't want to put in that effort for it. But I'm going to give a small one. You got Majika Kambunji, ranked number 4 in the world, matched up with Aaliyah Hobbs, ranked number 5. Or it's 5 and 6. Oh, 5 in the world versus 6 in the world. Who's going to come out on top? They both have one win against the other athlete. One at the World Championships. Kambunji finished ahead of Hobbs this year. We're at the Diamond League final. Who's going to take that title? Is it going to be Kambunji? She's the world 60-meter indoor champion, European champion over the 200, so you know she's got some range. She's not a one-trick pony. She can do it from the start, and she can come here with the finish. So she's definitely got it all. Then we got the newly fresh personal best of Aaliyah Hobbs. She's looking like she's able to get near her personal best at different meets across the planet, but especially at her home country. But she can do different meets across the planet, and you know she's good and consistent because she's ranked number 6 in the world. You can't get that rank just by showing up once or twice. You gotta come out to the Diamond Leagues, the Continental Tours, the World Championships, the USA Trials, and all over the place. You can do things like that. You see, that's how we hype these things up before the meets start. That's how you hype it up before the meets start. That's all we need. We need some people like that to start getting into the sport and to push that there. And I might start doing that a little bit to a smaller scale. I think I might start trying to do a promotion company. But if not, hey, look, I'm putting out ideas here. If somebody's listening, hey, just, shout out to me and give me some credit for giving you the idea now. I want you to just be like, yeah, I don't know who gave it to me. I hate when people do that. Be like, shoot, Man, if I heard something from Ray, I'm gonna say Ray said it. If I heard something from Natasha Hastings on her YouTube channel, I'm gonna say she said it. Like I ain't one of those people. I'm always shout out to where I'm getting the ideas from. Like Ray, he was talking about a track and field league and everything like that, and trying to normalize and stabilize the sport some months ago. I'm pretty sure he's still talking about it now. I don't really listen to other people's channels like that on a regular basis at all, unless somebody say, "Hey, you really need to watch this." But yeah, that's how we do it. Tapper said, "I like it. I was imagining them at the start line." Yeah, and that's. Hey, look, I'm gonna test out some of this on the animated races. So what y'all see in the animated race matchup stuff, I'm going to try to see how we do that. Like I said, it's gonna be more than just the races. If we have a series of this, we can have that there because I have more freedom to do it. It's one thing if I try to hype up the athletes here, and then people ain't really feeling it like that because they're not really, they're not looking for that because they're not used to it. It's another thing when we get to test these things out on a smaller, relaxed, no pressure situation. But yeah, if you guys are liking that, definitely, again, y'all know where it is. It's in the description here. Go to trackstars.io. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. I think I covered just about enough, unless somebody wants to bring anything in. Looks like nobody came in the Zoom, so lead was a little bit scared earlier tonight, this evening. Didn't want to come out, but that's okay. It wasn't like anybody said anything rude or anything like that worthy of getting banned, either on the athlete or just talking crazy. But the Zoom is still open, so I'm gonna leave it open for another minute or two. If somebody comes in, then yeah. But if not, and it's in the pin post at the top of the chat, so definitely join in there if you want to talk about something. If it's anything, whether you want to disagree with it or not, you want to see something different even on the channel, go ahead and say that. But go ahead and do it on the Zoom so that we have a conversation. Because if we have a conversation, I think it helps out everybody. Versus, sometimes in the chat I get to read it, but then I'm not hearing it in your voice. I can't ask a question back to you immediately, and it doesn't go back and forth like that. I think it helps everybody if we do that. So if y'all want to see something adjusted on this channel, y'all want to see something in the sport in general, look, this YouTube channel is kind of like data mining in some ways. I get to see what the ideas you guys bring here. That's why I said I'm going to do the giveaways. You know why? The same way I would credit other people for bringing ideas. If you guys are bringing ideas here and I am actually implementing those things and you guys are putting money there, why not be able to do a community pool where I'm giving away $500, $100 here? I didn't forget. I said at the end of the summer, for the people that put in a post for Dina Asher Smith and where she was going to place at the World Championship final, I think one person got close. I'm not sure if anybody actually. I got to look back at the post. I think one person got close, but somebody else got some points. So I'm going to reveal what the point scale is and how much money people will get when they get points. So I'm all for this participation. So y'all ain't just listening to my channel and y'all just ain't nothing. Some of y'all gonna get paid. Some of y'all have gotten paid before. I've done giveaways. I think it was like $100 or something before. 2 people didn't claim it. There's us. If you don't claim it within a certain amount of time, I just cancel the giveaway. It doesn't stay open forever. So one person did come back later and was like, "Hey, you said you were gonna give the giveaway," and I said, "Look in your DM." I said, "You have until this point to collect it. You never gave me the wallet address, so the time passed." So if I do a giveaway and I'm giving away $29,000, it would be kind of crazy if y'all don't come out and collect the money. All right? Because if somebody was giving away $29,000 and probably one individual will probably get maxed out $10,000, because I can't see them getting everything right. But if they did, then more power to them. But if you're giving away between $500 and $5,000 for per one person, y'all, I will be the first one up there. They wouldn't even finish their stream and I'm already messaging them, DMing them right there. Like, no, I'm collecting the money. They said, who's winning the Diamond League final? Depends on who's lined up at the Diamond League final. That's a good question. Is Shelly Ann Fraser Price still running? Because I heard that she might not be running that. I heard she might not be running. Is Elaine Thompson Hero got enough points? Let me look here right now. I pulled up the Diamond League page. So let me close out Zoom. Nobody's coming into Zoom. And I swear, every time I do this, somebody say, oh, can you open it up? That happened the last 2 times. And I'm just like, what? No, I'm done. I know they trolled. That's why they did it. They did it because they trolled. So let me pull up the Diamond League page here. Okay. Let's see. And I want y'all to know, see, the next Diamond League race is in 5 days, by the way. 5 days, and that's in Lausanne. We got Lausanne, Brussels, Zurich. Is this year or next year? I don't even know where the Diamond League final is. Dang, that's crazy. See, that's a little bit hard too. Because is it Zurich again? Is that the Diamond League final meet? Can somebody tell me when Shanghai? So is Shenzhen the last meet? Because they don't seem to be highlighted here. So I'm guessing that's because they don't have the meets or whatever there. September 7th. Okay, it doesn't have a date here. Calendar. Okay, let me see. Calendar for 2022. Here we go, Zurich. Okay, Zurich. Oh, Brussels was last year, wasn't it? Huh, I can't remember now. But I thought it was Zurich last year with the Diamond League final. I guess they just gonna have one static spot where the Diamond League final is at now. That'll be kind of cool. So the last one is in Zurich. That's September 7th through the 8th, and I'll be covering that here. Lausanne, you said who's winning that? Let's see. Let me go to the Lausanne meet. Let me go into Lausanne. Oh, okay. So Shelly Ann Fraser Price is coming out to Lausanne. And while I do like French and can kind of sort of read it, I'm going to switch this to English. Because, yeah. So let's look at the entry list. Well, if Shelly Ann Fraser Price is showing up, well, we know who's winning that one. Let's see, 200 meter men. Let's look at that. We're going to look at the 200 meter men, 400 meter women. Look at the steeplechase, 100 women. Oh yeah, and I'm curious about the 1500 men actually. 100 hurdle men, if it's Grant Holloway or Parchment, one of those two are going to get it. Oh no, he's not. Nope. He's not there. Neither one of them are in this one. Neither one of them, Ingebrigtsen or what's his name? Neither one of them are at this meet. Okay, I was curious about that. 200 meter men. They said, what do I think Elaine is gonna do? That's gonna be a good question. Let me see that in a second. Let me go to the 200 men. Fambule, I don't think he's really got it. Noah Lyles is here. He's taking it. Yeah. I'll be surprised if Knighton. Do y'all think that Knighton, with the matchups here over and over, that Knighton is going to get it? That he's going to get Lyles at some point? It's going to be hard to see that Lyles loses because he's lost twice in his professional career since he's run. So you kind of running against odds. It's like trying to bet against Vorholm when he's not injured and whatnot. And if he is, he's got enough time to recover. So you really just working against that. I gotta say Lyles is probably gonna take this one. Lyles, Knighton. I wouldn't be surprised if Knighton got third. Michael Norman's coming out for another shot at this one. So I wonder if he's gonna get a personal best. So it looks like he's running this 200 instead of the 4. So I'm gonna give this one to Lyles, and it's a toss up between Knighton and Norman. Ogando, that's all nice and everything that he could break 20 seconds, but he might have just passed his peak. And this is still crazy that Tortu, Filippo Tortu, didn't he win the World Championship final? Didn't he win the World Championship final? I think he did. Oh, you think that Noah Lyles is gonna get caught? Okay. And if he did, if this is the athlete that I'm thinking of, that Tortu is the guy that won, he didn't even break 20 seconds, and they didn't break it that year. And that just shows you, some years you're just not gonna have the fastest times. It's about who the champion is. And at the end of the day, hey, world champion is a world champion. But yeah, Noah Lyles might get caught. That's what I'm a little bit, I would say, nervous, quote unquote, for. But I mean, if this is the entry list, this doesn't show the lane assignments though. Because if he's in lane 2, I can't see Aaron Knighton getting Noah Lyles here. Noah Lyles getting in even the middle lanes or the outside lanes. And now he can run in lane 3. He made sure he put himself there. I don't see Knighton getting it, but I think this is just the entry list. So I'm going to move on to the next one. 400 meter women. Let me see if anybody's standing out. Stephanie Ann McPherson, Marilady. I think Marilady got the best chance here. McLeod. Now that's going to be a very interesting one. How are we going to see McPherson? Is she going to break? She going to break 50 seconds this year? I've been kind of looking out for her and seeing what she's going to do. Is she going to break 50 seconds? Is she going to do it at this one? But I can't see anybody beating Paulino on this one. It's not him. You are referring to the Turk guy. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. The guy from Turkey. Yeah. Now, let's see the steeplechase. We got Bohr there. Germa. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I'm getting all the big hitters here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking out for this race. So, let's look at the 100 women. Oh, okay. We got them. Okay. Now, no wonder you said that. This is very interesting. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price is running a heck of a lot of... Y'all think that Sada Williams is winning the 400? Okay. What do you, what's making y'all think that that she's gonna win? I think that she got an outside chance, but I don't know. Paulino's in the race. See, I know Paulino's not in the best form probably after all of that, but I'll find it hard to believe that Sada is gonna win. But I can see where y'all saying, because they are very close. I'll put it in quotes in time. So yeah, they said Germa needs to win. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I didn't want to go there because I know we got some very fickle people here. I'm not gonna go on the distance side. I'll engage with the sprint only crowd right now. I'll engage with the sprint only crowd. I do that sometimes here. I'm gonna do the distance only crowd in the future. Now we gonna have like 2 people in the chat, but it's okay. We gonna have 2 people here. But to me, it's not about the views, and like I said, we ain't even monetized tonight. So all we got is the people that's doing the Cash App and Super Chat, and anybody that got the NFTs here. But anyway, 100 meter women, we got Davis. It's nice to see her getting some international experience too. Fraser-Price, Hobbs, Jackson, Kambunji, straight off her win in the 200. Talu, Terry, Thompson, Hero. Man, this is a good matchup. Now, this is what we need. Maybe I'll try to hype the stuff up there. I don't know. Maybe I'll hype the stuff up there. Maybe I will try to hype this up and get somebody on here. Let me see if I can get a female co-host or something like that. Man, I've been trying to get some of these athletes. I ain't been trying too hard. I've been trying harder to push this NFT. But remember, I had pushed the NFT before and I kind of dropped it. So that shows you how much I'll be trying to push stuff out, because it's like in my life I'm just like financially good, so it's hard for me to be like, yo, I need this, but I realize it's something good, so I have to think of other people. So y'all, I'm gonna try to get one of the former Olympians and Olympic medalists on here if we can, and get them the whole co-host, or even some other athlete if I can, and then try to have them hype it up, or just let's see if I can get one of Carl Lewis's athletes. I'm so close there. The next time the campus opens and whatnot, maybe they're doing summer training now. I should just show up and just be like, look, can we get somebody on this channel? Let me see. Let me see the comments now. They say, I saw a clip with Elaine in practice recently and she was looking really good. She made spring a surprise. And I say, May. They said Tamari getting last. Come on, don't do Davis like that. You think she gonna get last? Why? Because she's American or something? Man, you got so many other people here. I mean, yeah, but she just ran with Leah Hobbs, I think, and she got second to Hobbs. So you must be thinking, man, it's going to be hard here. Because it is kind of hard to... I could see Kambunji getting last. We don't have a Brianna Williams here, which, not to joke on her, but she would be the kind of likely suspect because she either is hit and miss on these regular meets. She's either going to do really well and she could win. I don't think she's going to win against Fraser Price or Jackson right now. Or she's going to be like middle to end of the pack. And when I say middle, not even like upper middle, like fourth behind the obvious contenders. It'll be like sixth or she's last. I look... Oh, Kyle Love said, I look good at practice, LOL. And I don't run. Good one. I know, right? Everybody does. They said, then who's getting last? Mujinka not getting last on a home crowd. It's either TT or Kambunji. Yeah, see, that's the way I'm looking at it. It's either Kambunji or I can see TT Terry getting last. Realistically, based on performances that happen, Kambunji or TT Terry gets last. And if Jackson wasn't there or Thompson Hero wasn't there, I would say that, look, I got to be honest. If Jackson or Thompson Hero wasn't there, Shelly Ann Fraser Price would just kind of walk out of the blocks and Kambunji would beat her out the blocks. Her or Talu. Because every other time Fraser Price matches up with Kambunji, she actually does a fair amount of times. I used to be surprised and I'm just like, huh? But after last year and then seeing it again this year, she just kind of, I don't know, allows, or Kambunji just got a really good start. Maybe I'll just give credit where credit is due. Maybe Kambunji just has a very, very good start. And as we can see, she did win 60s indoor. So she has a fantastic start. I'll give her that. Or Fraser Price just kind of allows Kambunji to get out. But Kambunji gets out on Fraser Price sometimes. Remember that meet last year? Fraser Price's last meet. And Kambunji had her for a good 35 to 40 meters. And she had a little bit of a gap on her. And then Fraser Price kind of just eased up and eased past and ran a 10-8 on her. Looked like she was just easily just running. She was running. She ain't sprinting. She was running. She was doing a tempo run. They said Kambunji. They said Sha'Carri get last. Come on now. Okay, I brought up Brianna Williams, so yeah, bringing up Sha'Carri. Man, you saying Sha'Carri getting last and she ain't even there. Man, that's bad. That's bad. The ghost of Sha'Carri. So, let's see. Kambunji always does well in Switzerland. They said, now that I think about it, Tamari is probably going to be in the middle. Shelly has to run for her life. Yeah, probably against Sharika. Man, Sharika in it for blood. And you remember, her coach and her been saying she's after the world record. Okay, what do y'all think about this? Now, remember, they never look at all the championships leading up to after Marion Jones, right? They never once brought up Florence Griffith Joyner at all. They did not bring her up. They really didn't bring up the world record. They didn't bring her up at all. And I always thought maybe that adds on to why it's even more of a shady record. Yeah, that's what I was ignorantly thinking. And then I'm like, no, they're not bringing her up because nobody's near the world record. I finally realized it in this year and last year, because now that somebody looks like they're close, and a little bit close, if you could call 5/10 of a second close, I guess that is, in a 100. Now they're finally saying, hey, these people could challenge the record. They're finally bringing it up. Because I was like, man, why do they bring up the records in all the other events, particularly the men's events and stuff? But then I noticed they don't bring up the world record in a 400 either, the 800. Now they're bringing up maybe the world record with a thing more. So I think it's just when somebody is there. So now, since Sharika Jackson is also in the chat for potentially getting a world record, and before people keep saying they don't think she can get it because of her slow start, I'm like, okay, I don't care about what you say her start is. They didn't even have an acceleration phase back then when Flojo got the record. They didn't have them. They basically just popped up straight out of the blocks. So if you talking about bad start or a slow start, they didn't even have a thing such as a start. They just was like, come out the blocks and go straight up basically. Or they just running as hard as possible right there with no real pattern necessarily. And you look back at the races, it's slight to the untrained eye, but they didn't have it. They just kind of came up. So, I mean, comparing against then, Sharika could have a slow-ish start compared to Fraser Price. But if she gets a good start for her, which would be coming out faster than Elaine Thompson-Herah with her normal start, then she could challenge for that 10-5 area. I really do believe that. They said, wait, did Sha'Carri opt out? Wait a minute. Was Sha'Carri supposed to be at this one? Oh, yeah, I think maybe she was here. Yeah, they said Shelly is about to have people chasing the crap out of her. Marshante Gordon said with Sha'Carri opting out. They said, wait, never mind. Shelly has a 10-7 bound sprinters by her. Elaine doesn't. Talu is in pretty good shape. Shelly is out for world record, to be honest. Yeah. So here's how I think it's going to go down. I think Shelly Ann can be beat. Shelly Ann is beatable. But how? I don't know when that's going to happen. But at any point when she got a Sharika Jackson and Elaine Thompson-Herah, because remember, Elaine can randomly just pop out a quick race. I'm not going to doubt Elaine at all until this season is over. Then I'll give my analysis on her complete. I think she's still dangerous. Now, if we got to be honest, the way Elaine was looking at some of her recent races, she could be the person that gets in last. I got to just put it out there. She could be the person that gets in last, but she could also be the person that wins. Fraser Price is vulnerable a little bit if she doesn't have another one of those 10-6 days. But she's really married to 10-6. Barring pulling up and false starting, which Shelly Ann Fraser Price really doesn't do. When's the last time I ever saw her pull up? I don't think I ever saw her pull up. But she does have that toe injury thing that comes back every once in a while, as she said. So she does have an injury. Brussels is the meat for Richardson. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, Shelly Ann is very, very happy. I'm glad she followed Usain Bolt advice and started showing her personality. Because he was talking about, Elaine and Shelly Ann would get more attention if they, showed their personality more. And here we go. Now, Shelly Ann is already one of the most well-known athletes in general. I don't know how more well-known you can get, quite frankly. When I looked at the Google searches and everything, I mean, she's more well-known than many of the other compatriots and other Americans and everything. The only one that beats her out is Allison Felix, really. And I can see why Felix can beat her out, not because she's American, but because of the longevity. She was there before Shelly Ann Fraser Price. Remember, she was a teenager. Shelly Ann Fraser Price came into the fray on the world stage at 21, whereas Allison Felix, although she did win the juniors and youth and all of that, she got it from when she was a teenager a silver medal, and then she got the range. She got that range. So when you put in people's faces and everything there, and she was a 400-meter runner still running a 4x1, I can see why she's more well known. They said, wow, Nick's still here. Oh yeah, you must have left and came back in. You must have left when I was talking about those NFTs. Man, I think you was one of the people saying there you wanted to have a ticket for the giveaway. So definitely go out there and pick up one of those NFTs, because if we do sell these, when I think next summer during the championships, we will try to give away another. It's probably going to be lower than at the Olympics. Olympics was 29,000. We probably pick somewhere between 10 and 20,000, somewhere in between there. But we gonna give away a lot of money. But yeah, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price is vulnerable, but highly unlikely that she's gonna lose. I think Shericka Jackson, this is her chance to go into the 10-6s. I think it's gonna go Fraser-Price, Jackson, and we might get a surprise from Ta Lou if she knows how to limp. We might get a surprise from Ta Lou. I quite frankly don't know where Elaine Thompson-Herah is. I don't know. Her recent times have been slow, so I don't know. I don't know where she's gonna go. But I know she wants to get some points, because I'm pretty sure she wants to make that a Diamond League final and be able to defend her title, actually, to be honest. But I don't know where Elaine Thompson-Herah is gonna be. So I gotta talk about people I know. And the most dangerous people here, Fraser-Price, Jackson, Ta Lou, and Hobbs. I gotta say, Davis, I don't know how she's gonna do in an international meet, so I'm gonna just say jet lag is gonna take her out. But who's last? It could be anywhere from Terry, Ta Lou, and Kambunji, and an outside chance of Thompson-Herah. Oh, they had the 100-meter NACAC race. Oh, let me see how those results went down. Let's see these results now. Since I got that here on the screen, let's see the results. I got the entry list. Results. I'm going to watch the race afterward, but that's good. They got Jackson, Thomas, Rosa, Miller, Weibo. Very interested seeing all of them line up in the same race. It really just don't see that often. Really don't see that often. Felicia. All right. This almost looks like NCAA in my head. Let's see. Division. Let's look at the women. Event. Sprints. They say, how many times can a person PB in a season? That's a good question. I know that a professional athlete can hold it up to about, 8 weeks? So that's 2 months. It's 6 to 8 weeks. So if you can be in peak condition and hold your condition for about that long, then yeah. So let's see. She hasn't personal best yet. And then Hobbs did a personal best in her last race. She got 2 personal bests this season. Then we got Ta Lou. You said back for talking crap. Yeah. Look at the PBs on paper. Kambunji is the slowest. Sheesh. Yeah. This is day 2. 100-meter. Let's look at the women. Right here. Shericka Jackson, 1083 against a negative headwind. Natasha Morrison. I told y'all, don't be down Natasha Morrison. She be showing up. Javian Oliver was there. Oh yeah, and by the way, there are Americans that run down in Jamaica. See, I be noticing that. Y'all don't be saying that. Y'all be like, oh, the U.S. only stays there. No. I've seen meets that have Americans that come down there. I remember Allison Felix came down. Man, okay, I gotta call this one out. Remember Allison Felix came down and set the stadium record on the Jamaican track? Shericka Jackson had the stadium record. I think it was 50.79 or something like that. Allison Felix came there and ran like a 50.3 or something like that. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But Sharika Jackson did a huge dodge. She did a huge dodge. Because Allison Felix opened her... I think it was... Sharika Jackson opened up the week before with a 50.9. Allison Felix was having a season opener at this race. And Sharika Jackson was supposed to be one of the headliners there with Allison Felix, and she died. She was like, yo, I'm ditching. I'm not showing up at all. Y'all remember that? So I just want y'all to know, it ain't no American athletes or Italian athletes or whoever just dodges. Jamaican athletes dodge too. Usain Bolt was a super dodger. He said, I lose. I ain't racing against nobody else. I lose in the same season if I can help it. So, right? He dodged. Super dodge. But Sharika Jackson, she was running scared that time. Now, she's on a different level now. But I just got to point that out. I was watching that race the other day, and I was like, huh. But yeah, Action Jackson came here 1083, running against a slight headwind, just a slight. Solera Barnes, that's good. I'm going to actually watch this one. This one looked like this was an entertaining race. Everybody else was close. This was a very close one between Morris and Barnes, so that's good. Then we got Oliver. I'm surprised she just didn't do better. And Michelle Lee IE. I don't know what's going on with both of them. I would actually be surprised in why they're not in the medal contention here. Coco, what are you doing? What's up? So yeah. It says Sharika going back to the 400 meter next season. Hey, it is what it is. I don't know. Kamika Bingham. I don't know who this is. I'm going to have to look her up. And then I don't know who this is from Cuba either. Abrea Yunus Lady de la C. Garcia. Okay, I just slaughtered that name a little bit. Yunus Lady. I dated somebody from Cuba once. All right. Okay. This is good. 1083. Oh, y'all don't see the times. That's what it is. Y'all don't see the times. Okay, here are the times. I got it up on screen. It was a blowout. Oh, yes. Usain Bolt does dodge. You said take that back. Sheldon said take that back. Take that talk. Take back that talk. Bolt never dodges. Oh, yes, he did. Justin Gatlin even said that. If you notice, when Usain Bolt lost against his biggest competitor, he didn't run against them again. He did not run against them in the same season again. Now, when he got big. Now, there were a couple of seasons, like let's say he lost against Tyson Gay. I think he lost against Tyson Gay once or twice in the same season. But he didn't really run against, he lose against one person and he thought they were the biggest threat to him. He didn't run against them again. That's called a dodge, man. If I ever seen one. You don't want to run against a competitor again? I call it a dodge. I mean, I don't have a problem with that actually, because that builds up hype for that pay-per-view match that we call the championships. But they said Shelly and Elaine competed last time, your time on the Diamond League circuit. I don't get that one. You got to reword that, Sheldon. Ayana said, you only beat Usain once. Yeah, exactly. That's how he said. You beat me once, you ain't beat me again. Let me go back to the lab. Let me go back to the track. Well, the track and the lab are the same thing before somebody think I'm implying something else. But let's go back and mix this up. Let me go back to my training, and I ain't racing against you again. So imagine what it was like with Johan Blake in that same camp, and he didn't get injured. That would have been very dicey for Usain Bolt. I got to be honest. I think he was the best chance of beating Usain Bolt at a major championship had that major injury didn't happen. It's clear. He was too close to that 200-meter world record after slipping. He's the next best, closest person. Well, him and Tyson Gay tied with time for the time. He's literally in the same training camp. Think of that same way as Elaine Thompson-Herah and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. So, I mean, it was only a matter of time there. No, they said after Elaine said, "Come here, Shelly." Shelly said, "Nope, I won. Bye." Yeah, exactly. She said, and you know what the excuse Shelly Ann used last year? She was like, She said, "I tied," and I told y'all would not believe in me. This is online. That's why I said the accuracy on this channel is unstoppable. If I said she's only saying that, and she's gonna run another race, and I said it before that even happened. I said she's going to run against Elaine until she beats her, and she's gonna beat her and then stop racing against her, and she's gonna run another race. What happened? She said, "I'm done racing. I tired. I tied." That was so funny. You seen that Twitter post or the Instagram, and then people thought she was done for the season. Then she signed up and she raced against Kambunji. She raced 2 more races. I was like, see, she was tired of Elaine beating her. I would too. So let me look at the men's race here. Let's go back and look at the men's. Hello, Rabbit. You like, hey, it's about that time. You've been on here for 2 hours. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Let's see. Men's 100. Where's the men's 100? Oh my goodness. Let me, division. Men sprints. Okay. Even though it still keeps saying women. What's up with their, are they doing this men and women are equal stuff too? Okay, Akeem Blake, Kyrie King. Okay, that's not surprising there. Okay, these times are closer here. Oh, the win was a little bit more negative. Negative 0.4, but not really too much, but still. Brandon Carnes. Okay. This is fair. I don't know who Rikoy is. I'm gonna look him up. From the Shane Bailey. Karan Griffith. Okay, from Barbados. Interesting. This is a very decent race. I'm gonna look at this. These do look entertaining. I don't care about times. I care about the entertainment factor, in all honesty. They could have ran 12 seconds. Maybe there's a limit to that, but they could have ran 12 seconds in my mind and still been entertaining. Let me see. I'm so used to announcing for little kids and stuff, and little kids run for little kids and adults. So little kids look fast by running really slow times, and I'm just like, man, look at them burn the bricks off of them, and they just ran a 26-second 200, but it still looks fast. Like there's a time that even when the kids look quote fast relative to each other, it does look slow. When they start running like 30 seconds, even if the kids look fast because their arms and stuff are wiggling and running hard, it still does kind of look visually slow. So yeah, there is a limit, but when you get to a certain speed, it still looks fast, man. Now Shelly wants Elaine's neck this season, LMAO. Now how much y'all want to bet? Let's do it here. Do y'all think that if Elaine beats Shelly Ann this time, will Shelly Ann wrap up her season? Let's go back to that Diamond League. If Elaine beats Shelly Ann in this race, this will be the last thing I say here. Or wait a minute, what is this? Okay, yeah, this will be the last thing I say. If Elaine beats Shelly Ann this season, or at this race, does Shelly Ann wrap up her season, or does she continue? What do y'all think? I don't know about this one. This one, I'm a little bit different on. Or if Shelly Ann gets beat by anybody, like a Sharika Jackson or an Elaine. Elaine Thompson Hero or Sharika Jackson beats Shelly Ann. Do y'all think that Shelly Ann wraps it up and say, look, my spike's up. I tired. I'm done with the season. And I'm out. What y'all think? Because the way it's looking, you know what? I'm going to do a stream just on that one. If Shelly Ann runs Paris 2024, do I think she'll win? I will do that because this is my last topic, so I'm gonna end off here. I don't want to continue it here. That's what it's good for a call-in for. But what do y'all think? Let's see. They said, man, Elaine not looking like she can even beat Sharika this season. Dang. They said she's also a plotter too. When she loses that major championship, you better believe she coming back for blood. She wants the Diamond League trophy. They said no, she won't. Okay, so y'all think that even if she loses here, she gonna keep going for the she might go to a smaller meet. Okay. It's not if. She definitely running Paris 24. I don't know. I gotta take their ages and year by year. Remember, Justin Gatlin was looking good until literally this past season. He literally was decent and in contention to win until the last season. It's like he turned 37, I think, because he's about 3 years older than Shelly Ann. I think it's like he turned 37 or 38, something like that. It's like he turned it and then it was different. Right now she's getting it, but you got to think, like she said, she got to train different. She still has that toe injury that comes back. So when you get certain ages, you can extend that. And I even looked at the science behind it. Yes, you do get slower as you get older, but there's a way to hold it and slow that down. And also, you can also maintain slower speeds, longer distances, your same speed or a similar speed at a longer distance. So like these marathon runners, for instance, they can hold some of their mile times at longer distances at an older age because it's a longer distance. And you can do that into your 40s. So that's where Eliud Kipchoge, I look at him, he's like 36 or something now. So he's kind of on the watch list for, he's doing well now, but it's real. You get between 38 and 41, and at any random time, it's like, boom, your body just don't want to work anymore. But I'll say that for another conversation, though. You know, you make a good point. I might talk about that. They said, Nick, she said, we will see her in Paris. Now, I remember she did say should I go there? She was surprised with herself last year. When she did that, look, I take it season by season, but I'll go in that on another one. But yeah, Timothy Inventor, you make a good point. But anyway, yep, y'all make a good point. You make a good point here. As I said, that was the last one. Thank y'all for coming out. Don't forget, go to trackstars.io. I appreciate everybody in the super chat. Remember, we're trying to sell these out before September 16th. September 16th. You connect your wallet here. You get a Phantom wallet. It's called Phantom Wallet in a Google browser, or you can download the app Phantom Wallet right here. You put in your password and passcode. You see phantom.app on your browser and everything like that. I implore y'all to come out and support that, because if y'all want to see some of the things I said earlier, which is the head-to-head matchups, the hype-ups, where we can have the 1 versus 4, and other cool things that people haven't thought of just yet with track and field, okay? For all the things that people haven't thought of in track and field yet, and we want to play and experiment, the big man relay, and other things that we have here, because there's something else, and I can't say all of it. I really do want to talk about it, but I'm one of those people that I'm more about action than I am about talking. And if you like that type of stuff, come here. It's roughly about 70 to 75 US dollars, somewhere there about, for 1.5 Solana. To come over here and buy it, you probably should buy 1.6 because of fees, transaction fee with crypto. But definitely come out here, okay? Remember, come out here to support the channel, because we are pushing. If you guys notice that if the Jamaican athletes are ignored, some of the American athletes are ignored, because that's what happens actually. Some of the black athletes are ignored, and maybe some of the other athletes are emphasized, whether it's in the distance, whether it's in the sprints, whatever it is. If you notice that happens and you want somebody to highlight them, this is the place where we're going to do it. This is the place we're going to do it. I am going to have other hosts and other people eventually. That starts with this NFT. That starts with supporting that. Because they're not going to just be males. Because I know some people are like, oh, where the females? Where that? And, that's coming. I started with the simple. Where I started being simple for me. because that's where I see it. We can do all types of things here. And I'm going to let y'all know one thing before we go. There is going to be a special type of track that I've already talked to some people about. Now, that's going to cost way more than whatever these NFTs can bring in. But there's a special type of track. Some people in USATF already know about it. And it seems they're not even interested in making it. They already got the idea. They got the money. Too much money for them to build it on their own. They need the city or the state to do it. I don't know if I want to do it. I think I want to completely own it. So if I were to do it, I would spend it out of my pocket. But there's a special type of track we can make that somebody else has not already thought of. And it seems like common sense too. When you see it and you hear it, if I'm able to build it within the next 5 years or so, you're going to be like, oh, that's common sense. You might even think it's a gimmick or something. I don't know. So they said, what are y'all talking about? Y'all talking about Carrie? Oh yeah, Sha'Carri Richardson. She got it too. They don't quit, and she looking slow. Not sure, Nick. When Elaine beat Shelly 10-5-4. Shelly ran the next Diamond League 10-6. Elaine ran 10-63 in that race. Remember, Merlin Adi continued for much longer than 35. Yeah, but she didn't continue in the same way, though. See, everybody can continue, but you have a significant drop-off in your times. And I can even bring up Adi here, because this is still within that last subject. Adi didn't have anywhere near her times that she had before that. And yeah, she competed into her 50s. And remember, she's in Europe, so she's still going to get European championships and all of those things. And Europe is not quite as fast. During her era, Europe was actually faster compared to the world. But her biggest competition would have been USA and her own Jamaican compatriots. And she couldn't really hold up against them after a while. So there is going to come a point where she's not going to compete. And she only just recently retired. Remember, I covered it last year. She only recently just retired. You said we need a banked indoor track at high altitude with wind behind the straightaways at exactly 2 meters per second. I mean the allowable wind limit, like a wind fan around the track. Just do the time trial meets. Okay, you said that one. One of the things is gonna be like a wind fan that literally is matched up. If we have it at the championship meet, I might just have a wind fan there, a wind tunnel fan or something like that. But it wouldn't work under certain circumstances, because if you realize you blow the wind one way, the wind has to go out somewhere. So it's going to be a bunch of whiplash with some fans. But one of the ideas is a wind fan. I will say that. But because that's not too big of a deal, other people have, I think, talked about it. No, I haven't heard anybody else until I brought it up before. But that's not too big of a deal. It's something else that's there. But yeah, when you talking about that, see, Isaiah, you already got the ideas. Go ahead and get one or 5 of those NFTs. If y'all get more than 10, I try to urge y'all against it, because then you get more voting rights, to be honest, and that gets a little bit too much for one person. But yeah, compared to all the smaller people, because you get voting rights per NFT that you have an extra vote. And that's how we are going to count it when people are voting on different decisions and stuff. They send in a tiny bit of Solana from their own particular NFT wallet, from their NFT, and then they can vote. So anyway, but yeah, go ahead and pick up one of those. You got a lot of the ideas that I'm thinking here. I might bring you in as an advisor and hire you out, because you got some ideas there, and I'm being serious. But if you just want to contribute from on the NFT and just, have a vote and contribute there, that's great. Join the Discord, add into that conversation, because we're always trying to look for more and more people on there. I'm telling you, we trying to make this good. And this is coming from a person. Nah, I'm not going to say it again. I ain't going to make nobody mad. Okay, this is the last thing. Wait. You said like in a vacuum. Yeah, that's true. Look at Allison. She got significantly slower. Yeah. She's defying science. Wait, what's holding Shelly up? That's the question. She's defying science. In case y'all ain't know, Akeem Blake won NACAC 100 meter 9.98, only one under 10. Trevor Woodley said, yeah, we covered that actually here. We just went over the NACAC 100s. I'm reading the last comments and then I'm going. They said, would like to know too. You know, if I could get Shelly Ann Fraser Price, that'd be good. I haven't asked any of them. The only one I reached out to was Kimber Nelson. And that was last year when she was still at Oregon. I reached out to her last year in the middle of the season. They say, it's so crazy to me, LOL. And then Isaiah McEwen said, I would def come in. I still hurdle. Def going to invest soon. Appreciate it. Okay. He said, okay, just joined. Yeah, Trevor. Oh, yeah, by the way, we just talked about a lot. So see, go back here. There's a section I started talking about some of the ideas we have, but definitely get back in the rest of the earlier on this, because you catching me right as I'm about to leave. But Isaiah, when you say you still hurdle, are you at the master's level? Are you at the high school, collegiate level? Are you trying to go pro? What's that looking like? You just kind of perked my ear up here. I'm trying to figure something out. Because I get people from different walks of life that are here. We got a couple of pro athletes. I think 2 from Australia here. And then I know we got athletes that are trying to go pro. Some from South Africa. Shout out to Kumo. I'm not sure. Are you still training? And then we got some people that are in the U.S. that are there. So we get athletes here. Probably not so much as at least ones that comment in the comment section as much as some other people, maybe like Ray. I think he probably gets more athletes there because he brings them on. I take a different approach to what I'm doing. But yeah, in any case, by the time you hear that, I'm about to go. So peace and much love, everybody. It's been good. Definitely check out trackstars.io. Come out here. Remember, don't just put that money on some booty in the club. Go ahead and put some money here so that we can actually grow something in the sport, and then we can see some return back on that as well. Because like I said, it's 3 people that were interested in buying all of them up. But that's not really going to do us any well if only, 3 people get it. Because that's not showing a family and a group effort. So I'm coming to you guys for that reason and that reason alone, for a group effort. But peace and much love, everybody, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Oh, wait a minute. He said, okay, I'm gonna read your I'm gonna catch you on the next one because you took a while to type that out. I'm about to run open again. And the 110 is my personal best, 14.2. I got hurt in college, but I'm taking it serious again. I'm competing this year, indoor, 2022 to 2023. I'm guessing that is in the U.S. But definitely, Isaiah, on the next live stream or something like that, hey, I'm going to ask you that. I'm going to remember that. Let me take that down.